Launch ready for WWE Aftershock in 3, 2, 1. World Wrestling Entertainment Discussion is live. Cue host Owen Finch.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to WWE Aftershock. I don't even know what season... Well, I know kind of what season it is, and I know what episode it is, but you're just going to have to, read the title, because I actually don't know off the top of my head, because it's... Owen Finch came back from old Aftershock days, where he doesn't know the seasons and he doesn't know the episodes. It's, Actually, I feel like this is actually even worse, because I used to know the season at least, but now I don't even know the season anymore, type of thing. So, this is worse. But yeah, I'm Owen the Birdman Finch, and I'm here with...
Chris.
And, this is kind of a weird thing, because, WrestleMania was just a really weird of a mix of emotions, because, it went from earlier in the week where I didn't think I was going to be able to watch any of the nights live. I thought I was going to be, today, watching, both nights and, Stand and Deliver and things like that. And then it went for me to only being able to watch night one, Stand and Deliver, which is better. And I was going to miss night two. And then, a magical thing happened where the wrestling gods smiled on me. And decided, no, you're watching Mania, this is not happening. And when I went to go over my sister's house for Easter, my grandfather was there, and he had been traveling all week, and he left at 3 o'clock, and I was able to get home. I think I made it back by 5:30, type of thing. So, and I was able to watch the first hour of the countdown show in the car and everything like that. So, I wasn't driving though, so that's just to make sure everyone knows I wasn't watching it while I was driving, because I can't even drive anyways. But yeah, so we were able to move things around and get this show done today. And this doesn't happen very often, where the wrestling gods smile on us and we can review a big PLE or something right after it's taken place and everything like that. How do you feel about this, Chris? Because obviously WrestleMania took place over Easter weekend, which has never happened before, at least in my lifetime of being a fan. So how do you feel that we were kind of... Did this make your Mania week? I know, because your Mania week's usually pretty messy anyways, because obviously, on Sundays anyways, you end up having plans earlier in the day, and you miss most of Mania, like the kickoff show and everything like that. But how do you feel about, this weekend? Because this was kind of a bit of a messy weekend.
It was fine.
That's true. I mean, that's the thing. You only have to go down the street. I had to travel 2 hours for Mania and everything like that. So, I will say this Saturday was a lot. And in terms of I think pretty much after we did the predictions, all I did all day was just watch wrestling, because Stand and Deliver was on, and immediately afterwards the countdown show for Mania started, and all I did all day up until probably 12:30 was watch current WWE product and everything like that. I didn't really mind it, but it was wow, okay, this was a bit of it was a lot, because I didn't expect because it's been so shitty out and everything like that. I was thinking, okay, I can go outside for a little bit and get some sunlight and everything like that in between Mania and Stand and Deliver. But then they decided
not allowed.
Yeah, not allowed. Not going outside. I wonder if it made it a mess. This is why I wanted Steve to be on, because obviously some people from Stand and Deliver had to go to Mania. I wonder if it made that a mess and everything like that. But I don't think so, because, Mania didn't actually start until 7. And Steve said everything was walking distance in Vegas and everything like that. So, doesn't seem to be the case. But, let's just cover down Mania. It's the biggest Aftershock of the year, because, we're covering the 3 biggest wrestling events of the year. And we'll just start with the Hall of Fame, because that's part of WrestleMania weekend and everything like that. We'll kind of keep it brief because, it's a lot to cover the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame was probably the show that was a lot too, because, that went from midnight to 4:30, I think. So it went a long time. And again, I ran into that issue again where I think I told you this when I was gonna watch the Pat McAfee show off camera, but like. I don't know what happened because it said on the video that it didn't start till 1, but I think they went live because of the red carpet and everything like that. So yeah, it got real weird. So I was for a lot of it, like 20 minutes behind doing the red carpet, but luckily, I was able to because they showed some video package I had seen, so I was able to fast forward through that and be able to watch the Hall of Fame actually live while it was going on and everything like that. But yeah, going over the Hall of Fame real quick, I'll just say the red carpet was pretty fine. It was just kind of, a lot of people just kind of asking questions and everything like that. They did a funny thing where Karrion Kross got interviewed, and he was very much still in character, so he was being wicked aggressive towards Peter Rosenberg and everything like that. It was really funny. And they actually did a thing, I don't know if they timed this right, but AJ Styles and Karrion Kross you could see them walking by each other during the red carpet and everything like that. That was pretty funny. And Karrion Kross was pissed about that got caught on camera. It was really funny. Who else got interviewed? That was highlights on the red carpet. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon got interviewed, and they did the thing where they unveiled his statue, like they do every year for WrestleMania, where they've done it for Dusty, Ultimate Warrior, Ric Flair. Triple H has a statue now. This was really funny because, they wanted this to be a surprise and everything like that, but Triple H's family wasn't ready for this and all that type of stuff, because I think Steph knew what the surprise was, but Triple H didn't. So, it took them a good 5 minutes or so of them just standing around, and they had to kill time and everything like that. So the red carpet was good though. You had a lot of good interviews happen on it and everything like that. And then we had the Hall of Fame itself. We had the ceremony. It was hosted by Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. They were really good hosts. They weren't just they're hosting and introducing people. They brought a light of life to it and everything like that. They showed the the patastrator that he calls it, where he highlights things and everything like that. But when Michael Cole did Triple H's entrance back in 2011, and Michael Cole and Pat McAfee was just roasting Michael Cole about it. And then they did yeah, they just did a lot of funny stuff. And then we had the first inductee. We had the opening video package first, and then we had the first inductee. It was Lex Luger, inducted by Diamond Dallas Page. This was awesome. Lex Luger, obviously he's had some, well, I shouldn't say just some health issues, a big health issue where, he's just now being able to stand and everything like that. And it's pretty scary because he mentioned during his speech that he took a bad fall. I don't think he said a bad fall, but he took a bad fall getting out of his car and everything like that. So he was almost able to not stand for the Hall of Fame speech and everything like that. But yeah, he stood up. He had a really good speech where he talked about how he didn't really feel like he was ever going to make it to the Hall of Fame. He talked about, all of his community work that he had to do. He mentioned, how grateful the wrestling fans are because he would never go into Roma. His pastor would always try to get him to go there. And, he said, but then I went one day and the fans were very appreciative of me and everything like that. And, he talked about, pay memory to his mother and everything like that. Just a really good Hall of Fame speech, went about 10 minutes. And it was very good, he kind of, he was very passionate and very thankful and everything like that. And he just did, really good. And, he didn't really have a speech prepared or anything like that. I don't know if he wrote one and then maybe just winged it when he got out there, knowing he wasn't going to have a lot of time to be out there. Because I think him specifically, obviously a lot of the people, except for the main eventer, has a time restraint, but I think he could only stand for a certain amount of time. So I think he had a time frame because of his body and because, he only had 10 minutes. But how'd you feel about Lex Luger's Hall of Fame speech? I thought it was awesome.
I thought it was good. I liked it.
Then it showed the Legacy Award, where the first one was Kamala. Is he the first one to go in Legacy and Hall of Fame, or is he only in Legacy?
I think he's only a legacy.
Oh, okay. Then we have Michelle McCool inducted by The Undertaker. Undertaker was hilarious doing his Hall of Fame speech where he came out and like everyone was cheering for him. He's just like, okay, settle down. This isn't that big a deal. It's not about me tonight. And he was just talking about a bunch of stories about Michelle McCool that we found out I guess weren't true. He was just telling a bunch of lies and everything like that. It was really funny. And then Michelle McCool came out and did her speech. Her speech was very good. You know, it was kind of like Undertaker's speech where like it was about life lessons and everything like that. She talked about like her health issue that she had way back when. And she talked about like how fearless she was as a child and everything like that. And then mentioned maybe a tag team one again with her and Layla because Layla was in the crowd and everything like that. We'll see. You know, maybe it could happen. And then, you know, she talked about meeting The Undertaker and everything like that. This was a really good Hall of Fame speech also. And just a good follow-up to Lex Luger's. What'd you think of Michelle McCool's? I thought it was awesome.
I liked Michelle McCool's speech a lot. I thought it was very good.
And then back in the Legacy Awards, it was Dory Funk Sr. That was cool. He's passed since then, right? Because I remember, it showed like his brother or something in the crowd. I don't, not him type of thing. So I think he's passed though since then. Or am I wrong? Was it him in the crowd?
I'm not sure.
And then we have the Natural Disasters, who weren't inducted by anybody. I don't know why. I don't know if it was a time restraint thing or if it's because. Maybe the family just inducted them type of thing and accepted it. So that could have been what it was. But they weren't inducted by anybody. Maybe they tried to get someone to induct them and they couldn't find anybody. What do you think? Was there any reason for that? Why they weren't inducted by anybody?
I guess besides like the legacy wing, or I guess like I can't really pinpoint a time when no one's introduced someone.
Yeah, but they had a really good speech. John Tenta's family, Earthquake's family, had a really good speech about how much, of the lovable giant and like how much childish and everything like that Earthquake was. And then Typhoon, talked about like how the team came together and everything like that, and it was a happy speech, but also a sad speech because obviously they would have loved if Earthquake could have been there, but obviously wasn't the case. But this was a really good speech. Also, what'd you think of this one?
I thought it was good. I liked it a lot.
And then we had the WWE Immortals moment, the submission match between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret Hart. I almost said CM Punk, but that haven't had a submission match yet. So, but it was inducted by CM Punk. And Punk cut a really good Hall of Fame speech. He only had 2 minutes, and he was trying to milk it as much as he could. And he talked about like how much this match has influenced his career and everything like that. Again, it's just wild that CM Punk, not only, I mean. It was still wild he was main evented WrestleMania, but it was wild about the fact that he's in such good graces now with WWE. He's able to do like Hall of Fame inductions now and everything like that when that was never going to happen before and everything like that. And then they brought out Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret Hart. They only had a couple of minutes to talk, and Bret talked about like how when he went to the back, he didn't really realize how good this match was going to be, and then like talked about how great it was once it happened, and then Stone Cold Steve Austin talked about how it launched his career. And they had like a really good because they didn't have rings. I think they probably had rings, but they had like a trophy for it where it showed their face as like a face-off for it and everything like that. I think that's going to be the new thing, I think this is going to replace the Warrior Award, and it seems like the celebrity win, because we didn't really notice this, but it seems like this is the first time the celebrity didn't go into the Hall of Fame this year. So I don't know if this is going to replace that for a little bit, because I think they've inducted every celebrity that they could at the moment. But yeah, how did you feel about their Hall of Fame speeches and everything like that? I thought it was awesome. I thought their speeches were very good.
They were good. Yeah, they were really good.
And then back to the Legacy win, we had Ivan Koloff, very much deserved there. I thought they, that it's cool that he went in. And then we had Triple H inducted by Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels cut a really good speech. You know, it was a lot of it. Some of it was a roast about like Triple H as a friend and like Triple H as a boss and everything like that. And then some of it was obviously him being genuine. This one you can just go. This speech you can just go watch for itself because it was very good. Triple H's speech went a while. A lot of it, you know, because he got choked up, and obviously when Triple H gets choked up, he typically can't talk. And then. You know, he did a lot of thank yous. We talked about that story with the Click where, you know, he mentioned that story where, you know, of the first time they rode together. We talked about his friendships with the Red Rooster and William Regal. It's really interesting. You know, I didn't know this, but like Triple H told the story of how right before he left WCW, him and Regal going to be a team together in WCW, and they're going to be pushed. And Regal had to be like, you know, and this just shows how unselfish Regal is and everything like that. Regal was like, no, like get out of here, go to WWE, like go be a star. Like Regal basically sacrificed his own big push, so that way Triple H could be a star, and you know, it ended up benefiting Regal because he got a job for life out of that. Somewhat. And you know, he talked about, you know, evolution, how it, like, helped him be able to kind of start to become the creator that he wanted to be, and then talked about sitting in production meetings. He thanked Undertaker. He thanked his children. He thanked, obviously, Shawn Michaels. He didn't spend a lot of time on Shawn because, you know, Shawn inducted him, so there was no reason for that. And then he talked about, like, work ethic. He thanked Vince, which was interesting, you know, but I think that took a lot of people back. But obviously, Triple H even said, like, he was trying to dance around it the whole speech, and I think he kind of gave, like, an indication of what his relationship with Vince is like, because obviously he says it's complicated. I don't know if he meant this moment or just in general, but, you know, he did thank Vince. And then he obviously thanked Stephanie. And obviously they did a funny joke where Shawn Michaels and Triple H kissed each other on the lips, because that was a big thing that happened. So people
took that way too fucking seriously.
Oh, of course they did. I don't know why people.
It was a bit.
Yeah,
they've done it fucking 3 times already on camera. It's a bit that they do. People took it way too serious. Oh my god, you see, he kissed him on the lips. Like, yeah, because it's a fucking running joke that they've had for years. If you people would just fucking look online and see this, it's a fucking bit that they have that they've been doing.
People just don't get it sometimes, you know. And yeah, that was Triple H's speech. You know, it was very good. You know, it was awesome. His video package for the Hall of Fame speech was awesome too. His speech went very long. You know, I probably wouldn't say that, but then, like, I think, you know, it was 4:30 in the morning by the time his speech was over, and I started the Hall of Fame at 1. And, yeah, I was very tired by the end. And then I had to get up. I knew I was going to have to get up early because we had to do the predictions for, you know, Mania and everything like that, and stand and deliver. And it almost didn't happen because I'm like, do I get up or not? And then, yeah, I manned up and woke the fuck up and just knew we had shit to do. So, you know, that shows I got perseverance, Chris. So don't think, I don't think I was, you know. But yeah, how'd you feel about Triple H and Shawn Michaels' speeches? Because they were kind of, you know, one and the same and everything like that.
I thought they were really good. You know, they're brothers, they're best friends. They could take a lot of personal jabs at each other. Just because they've known each other for 30 years, and I thought that at times it was really funny, and it definitely hit the mark. There was a lot of swearing, as you would probably think. Did they censor anything live or no?
Yes.
Okay, because I noticed that almost every other word out of Triple H's mouth was a censor. So
I think some things obviously didn't get. Again, I don't remember what did and didn't get censored live. It's been a long weekend, but some things didn't because obviously I don't think they,
like nearly every swear that he said was censored.
Yeah, I think that was definitely a post production thing. I mean,
I watched it at like, I want to say I watched it at like 6:30.
Oh, really?
Or 7ish.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like 7 or 6:30 or 7. So I watched it like not long after it ended. So I don't know if they just had the censors ready, like not like they do on Netflix because they're pretty terrible at that, which is awesome.
Yeah, that was the Hall of Fame. I think a lot of things other people took way too fucking seriously was there was pictures going on online that people were like the wrestlers and stuff were dozing off like in the crowd and everything like that, and I think people took that way too fucking seriously. They took the pictures out of context. They could have because there was one picture where they said Booker was sleeping. But that wasn't the case. I think, I think he was just had his eyes closed, like in deep thought and everything like that. I don't think he was fucking sleeping. Like, people took that way too fucking seriously, too. The wrestlers in the crowd. I assumed maybe some of them, like, dozed off, but they made it look like, oh, look at this. This Hall of Fame's going way too fucking late. They're overworking the wrestlers. They have places to be. But people took that way too seriously. Did you see that post going around online?
Oh, yeah, of course.
So, it happens. So whatever, I mean, don't forget, everyone's thinking like, oh, but it was only 10 o'clock, like where they fucking were, and anyways, and everything. And it still went on pretty late, but everyone kind of, I think, forgets that it wasn't fucking 1 o'clock a.m. when the fucking Hall of Fame speech was actually like happening and everything like that.
Yeah.
So, and the venue for the Hall of Fame looked awesome too, because obviously it wasn't. This is the first time since I think 2019 when the Hall of Fame has been like its own thing. Usually because it's been taking place after SmackDown and everything like that. I hope they make this a tradition still. They probably should do the Hall of Fame a different day though. I would have them try to do it maybe like Thursday, like the night before type of thing. Because obviously, again, it was 4:30 by the time it ended and everything like that. And again, as we're going to talk about, Shawn Michaels was a fucking sleepy man the next day because he only had like 59 minutes of sleep, like, and everything like that. Because he had to do NXT the next day and everything like that. So Shawn Michaels was tired and he took it out on a specific tag team on that show because he's like, you got to keep me fucking up. I'm breaking up a fucking tag team tonight. So. And I'm not gonna be shy about it too. I'm gonna make it known I'm breaking up a tag team tonight because it was not a surprise, but I just love it. That Shawn Michaels was so angry. I predicted that was gonna happen. A tag team. He was gonna break up a tag team because he's gonna be cranky, and that's what fucking happened. So. The Hall of Fame was awesome. I'm giving the Hall of Fame an A-. It was awesome. What would you give the Hall of Fame as a grade? It was awesome.
Yeah, I give it an A-. It was good.
And then let's talk about NXT. Oh, what notes for Mania do you want to do? Do you want to do night 1 or night 2?
Night 2.
Okay. All right, so let's do Stand and Deliver now. Okay, here's in my notes. We had the pre-show / the countdown show. I don't know what it was because they've changed the names of these things so often. The host of this was Megan Morant and Sam Roberts. This is pretty unique because I don't know if you know this. Megan Morant's technically supposed to be on maternity leave at the moment because she just had a child. I think a few weeks ago, and she's still. Maybe she's gonna take it. Obviously, now that Mania season's over and everything like that, but. She hasn't been doing like some of the WWE shows they have with their film in Stanford, but she's been still doing the Raw post shows and everything like that. But it's very interesting. She still traveled for WrestleMania, considering the fact that she just had a kid and everything like that. Matt Camp should fucking take notes because the first fucking thing he did was shot on Megan Morant off camera, and I think he's being proven fucking wrong because the fact that she could very well be on maternity leave and everything like that, and isn't. I feel like it's a slap to his fucking face, and he deserves it. How do you feel about this, Megan Morant? Not taking.
Don't care.
Okay. Yeah, the commentary team for the countdown show and the actual show itself was Booker T, Vic Joseph, and Corey Graves. They were good. Booker T still Booker T, but I'm gonna kind of give him a pass because he was probably sleepy on this show, so I'll let him do whatever he wants. What do you think of the commentary team? Do you think they were good or bad?
They're the same every week.
Yeah. And we had some interviews. It did like a nice exclusive interview for Jordan Grace, where kind of did a deep dive into her career and everything like that. She talked about like a story where she was backstage for like a WWE show, and they hit her and everything like that. That's pretty heartbreaking, and I'm glad that that's over now. And then the family were backstage, and they're all getting ready to have a fight with Dark State. Forgot the name of the faction there for a second. And, Tony Dietz tells Stacks to follow his lead. And then Luca Cosafina goes to get his ribs taped. It showed some ladder match prep, what everyone was kind of doing throughout the week, to get ready for the ladder match. Good for them. Good prep. And then Hank and Tank got interviewed. They talk about how they're going to win the NXT tag titles, and they feel ready for that. And then Ava got interviewed, and I think it was just like her getting interviewed by Sam Roberts and Megan Morant, and that was cool. Before I talk about the match, what do you think of all this stuff that happened, all these interviews and everything like that?
I thought they were fun.
And then we had the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Elimination match to determine the number one contenders for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. The winners of this would get the match on Tuesday, which the commentators fucking forgot about because they didn't really know. They just said it was going to happen, and then they didn't really know when, so that's pretty funny. But it was the Meta Girls versus Fallon Henley and JC Jane versus Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolan versus Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. They did the stupid four-way stipulation where like only two people could be in the ring at once. I don't really like that. That's just really dumb. But it happened. And the first team eliminated was the Meta Girls. They got Lash Legend took a ton of finishers to get eliminated. I think she took the running knee by Fallon Henley. She took Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolan's finish, and then she also took Roxanne Perez's pop rocks and everything like that. And Jakala Jackson, I almost said JC Jackson. That's not anybody. So, but Jakala Jackson couldn't break it up because she got laid out with a double arm DDT on the floor. But that eliminated the Meta Girls, and then Roxanne Perez just decided randomly for no reason to walk off. That was dumb. That didn't really make sense. And then it caused Cora Jade to get eliminated by Fatal Influence. So that was a stupid elimination that shouldn't have happened, but it did. And then it came down to the last two tag teams, Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley versus Fatal Influence. Tatum Paxley, Gigi Dolan hit the finish, and they eliminated, Fatal Influence, and they became number one contenders. Not very surprising. Once Cora and Roxanne got eliminated, I kind of figured they were going to win. And I didn't really want Fatal Influence to win. But I gave this match 3.25 stars. I thought it was pretty good. It got rushed very much so at the end because I remember I was like 10:50 and only like one team had been eliminated. I'm like, okay, so these next few eliminations are going to happen very quickly. And that's exactly what happened. But I gave that match 3.25 stars. I thought it was pretty good. What'd you think of this?
I thought it was solid. The Cora Jade, Roxanne elimination made zero sense, but they're going to feud again. Who's asking for this? Because I fucking didn't.
Yeah.
For certain.
Oh, Shotzi injured. Let me say that again. Is Shotzi injured? I don't know whether not injured, but injured.
Yeah.
Cause like those bits in the match where Jasmine Nix kept interfering, and I'm like, Shotzi, get in there! Like, you're not really doing much, so she might be injured. So,
Oh, she just didn't feel like getting involved.
maybe she's turning heel. You know, she's like, fuck this. I'm turning heel. I'm not getting involved in this. So
Easy to turn heel in NXT.
yeah, you could just. I mean, again, Tatum Paxley fucking turn heel with no setup or nothing. Just turn heel randomly in a week. So, yeah, this match. Do you give this match 3 1/4? Do you think it's worse or better than that?
Like 2.5.
Okay, so there you go. Then we had the show. I'm gonna show the intro video. And then the cold open, where everyone was hyped to go watch NXT and everything like that. Then we had the men's North American Championship match. It was Ricky Saints defending against Ethan Page. This match was great. It was a really great opener. Both men really killed themselves and, really proved they belonged in NXT. And beyond that, they did a lot of really good near falls in this match and everything like that, to the point where everyone started chanting "Tony fumbled," which is pretty awesome. So, and then eventually Ricky Saints won with the Rochambeau. This was 4 stars. I thought this was great. They both killed themselves, and this was a really back and forth match, and I really enjoyed this. What do you think of this?
I liked it a lot. Really great opener. They both killed it. I give it 3 stars.
Okay. Then we had the NXT Tag Team title match. It was Fraxium defending against Hank and Tank. This was very good. Fraxium dominate in the beginning by hitting a lot of quick tag moves, and then eventually Hank and Tank start to mount a comeback. And this match really built upon itself. It started off good, and then just became very good all of a sudden. Hank took a bump where he tried to dive onto both members of Fraxium, and they moved, and he took a nasty bump on the announcer's table. And this is nasty nowadays because obviously the tables are more sturdy and everything like that. So it's I know NXT's typically isn't, but I think NXT for this shows was a bit more sturdier than it's typically been. And there was a bit where Fraxium had the match won, and he came in at the last second and broke it up. And then eventually Hank and Tank won, where they hit the tag finish, and they really won the match out of nowhere. This was very good. I really liked this a lot. Hank and Tank has slowly become a really good tag team, and it's a team I really wasn't interested in, but as the weeks went on, I've really become interested in them. They were dressed like Public Enemy, which was pretty cool, because they're kind of like a version of that, and they won the tag belts. I don't think they're going to have a long reign. I feel like, unfortunately, I think Dog State's probably going to beat them for the belts, and that's going to be really fucking dumb when that happens, but it's going to happen. But I give this match 3 3/4 stars. I thought it was very good. I think this means Fraction's probably getting called up together. Or Sean could break them up on NXT this week. That could happen too. Probably most likely the second one, because, it'd be funny if he breaks them up and then they get called up and then they just put them back together. That'd be funny. I want that to happen someday. But yeah, what'd you think of this? I thought it was very good.
I thought this was a really good tag match. It threw me off that Hank and Tank won. Did not expect them to win at all, because they went from jobbers to tag team champions in less time than the Revival did, and Blake and Murphy. But yeah, I thought the match was fine. I thought the match was really good, actually. So I give it 3 3/4 stars, and yeah, I feel like there's gonna be some follow up to this. Maybe Fraxium goes heel. Who knows?
We'll see.
Or they break up, or they get called up, or but there's like a 95% chance that they're gonna get broken up.
And it'll be stupid. So,
And then both of them can go heel.
I'd like that, so.
They break up, they turn on each other, they both turn heel, and they just reunite as heels, because that's how NXT works.
I want something to happen someday where Shawn breaks up a tag team in NXT and then they get called up and they're just back together on the main roster. I want that to happen someday. That'd be awesome.
Like Ciampa and Gargano?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but that was the reverse. I want it to be like, it's a tag team everybody loves. Shawn breaks it up, and then Triple H is like, wait, why? Triple H like doesn't know about it or something. He calls it up and then they're a team on the main wall. I want it to be like right after they break up too. That'd be awesome if it's like right after they break up and Triple H calls it up as a team and acts like it never happened. I guess he kind of did that with Giovanni Vinci. He was out of Imperium and he was like the model gimmick for a bit, and then like Triple H is like, yeah, no, fuck that. I'm calling you up back in Imperium type of thing. Like, no, fuck that. And then he was taken out of Imperium, and he tried to like do that gimmick again, and he couldn't do it. So it's funny. Then Penn got interviewed. I didn't even remember who this was until I wrote it down. But I remember who this is. It's that magician that's has a show on CW and everything like that. And he was just talking a lot of nonsense about like how much he loves NXT and everything like that. And then like Lexis King came up and he was kind of jaw-jacking with him and everything like that. And then, Penn offered to, protect the Heritage Cup. And, he puts it like in a cage. And obviously you can see what's going to happen here. He puts a cloth down. And when the cloth goes back up, the cup's gone. But like, isn't somebody else in there like instead of the cup? It's like, I don't remember.
With Teller.
Yeah.
So their gimmick is Penn talks and Teller doesn't.
Okay.
Teller's mute. So it's really funny. Penn and Teller are the best. They're the greatest musicians of all time. They're the greatest musicians. I mean, he's the greatest magicians of all time. And then
there's no more cup. Lexis King lost his cup. He has to find it now. It'd be funny if this is how they got. This would be funny if this is how they disbanded the NXT Heritage Cup. Like, it's just gone forever now. No one can ever find it again. And then like
it's never mentioned again.
And then like the next time they come back, if they ever come back, they put it back, like, type of thing. Like, they should be gone. They shouldn't like appear again until like 2 years from now, and then they just when they're like, oh wait, and then Lexis could ask for his cup again, type of thing. That'd be awesome, but it's not gonna happen. And then we had the ladder match for the vacant Women's North American Championship. It's Zarya versus Kalani Jordan versus Sol Ruka versus Izzy Dame versus Lola Vice versus Thea Hale. Thea Hale has new theme music again. It's really bad. The one she had on NXT on the Golem episode was much better than this one. This was just terrible. And it makes me never want to see Thea Hale have an entrance ever again. Just have the jobber entrance, because this theme song's really bad. It's not like on the levels of like Nakamura's, I think, but like it's pretty damn bad. But this ladder match was excellent. Everyone kind of starts brawling around at first, and they do a lot of really good high spots with the ladders. They did like a thing where Thea Hale locked somebody in the Kimura while they were on the ladder. Izzy Dame took a really good fall off the ladder onto the Cullen. They did a lot of things where Sol Ruka and Zarya kept working together, and they kept sacrificing each other to everyone in the match. They did a really good bit where they had to fight each other on the ladder, and they didn't really want to, but they knew they had to, because both of them can't be champions. So Kalani Jordan took a lot of good bumps in this match. She hit a really good splash. Redoing the spot she did on the Lola Vice. Lola Vice took some pretty crazy stuff in this match. Just a really crazy ladder match. Eventually, Sol Ruka gets on a wall. She starts hitting soul snatchers on everybody, and eventually she runs up and grabs the NXT Women's North American Championship. I'm cool with this. We predicted Zarya, but I actually think Luka winning probably is the better move because I actually think Zarya's going to turn heel from this. I think they're going to do the friendship thing for a little bit, and then Zarya's finally just going to snap and be that dominant heel and brutalize Luka, and she'll win the championship. I wouldn't do it anytime soon. I would keep this going. Maybe like, I wouldn't, Battleground. I wouldn't even do it yet. I would do this, build this for a while. Maybe like if they do a big event before SummerSlam or something. Have that be the time where like Zarya's already here and you do the match then. Zarya, I would have her like not squash but like dominate Luka and everything like that. But Luka, really deserved to win this match. I think she still should have been the first women's North American champion. But I'm glad that she got it here at Mania weekend. Probably a bigger deal, honestly. So this is awesome. And I'm really interested to see what a weekend she had too, because the night before she won the Speed Championship, the women's one, not the men's one, and she's a double champ at the moment, huh?
Damn, I wish she would have won the men's.
But what did you think of this ladder match? I thought it was great. I gave it 4 stars.
I gave it 4 stars too. It was a really great ladder match, a really great showcase for Ruka. She was excellent in the match. Zarya was too. Everyone really played their part perfectly. Besides Izzy Dame, she was useless. Izzy Dame and the cucking.
That's good.
But they got rid of Izzy Dame's theme too, and they gave her the cucking's theme, which is just Sean Spears' theme. They got rid of overall, great match.
Yeah, I remember we were pretty negative on it too, because everyone in the match didn't have like ladder match like experience, and everyone actually showcased themselves pretty well, except like you said,
Bill Device too, for someone who's afraid of heights, it did really well.
Yeah, the only thing Izzy Dame did well was that bump off the ladder and everything like that. So But let's continue. Then we had an interview with Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley and Shotzi backstage where they're happy they won, and they look forward to winning the Women's Tag Team Championships. But then Tatum Paxley kind of remembers for a second that there's a possibility that she can end up facing Lyra, and she's kind of like mixed about what to do about that. But she's able to kind of snap back into reality and kind of get over it and everything like that. But with this interview, I thought this was funny. And it was good.
I thought so too. It was kind of foreshadowing too.
It really was. Cause she's got to face. She's got to face Lyra, so I don't know what she's gonna do. So, but then we had the D'Angelo family with Rizzo ringside versus Dog State. This was good. Steve said Dog State got a mad reaction. It was really tough to tell because, I think they knew they weren't going to get a good reaction, so they didn't even have them do the whole entrance because they had the brawl happen immediately. So I feel like they knew Dog State wasn't going to get much of a reaction. This match was really good. I feel like I'm starting to kind of I don't like the faction, but when I see them wrestle more and more and more, I'm liking the matches at least and everything like that. And this time it wasn't Cutler James that went in. It was because the Shaquan Sugars, there's Dion Lennox, who's the other guy that's in the faction. I forget his name, but this was his first
Osiris Griffin.
Yeah, Osiris Griffin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked really.
Osiris Griffin. It was Osiris Griffin, Dion Lennox, and Shaquan Sugars.
I didn't even realize it wasn't Cutler James until midway through the match that he wasn't wrestling.
They didn't fucking say anything until about halfway through the match.
Yeah. Because the match didn't start right away either. So he was
for about 10 minutes into the match. They didn't even say who the participants were for Dark State.
Yeah, but I thought Osiris Griffin looked real good. He looked like a beast. It seemed like he's gonna take if this is like a low range Shield, it seems like he's gonna be in the Roman Reigns war in the beginning, where he doesn't really do much. It's gonna be Shaquan Sugars and Dion Lennox that are gonna be like the workhorses.
I swear to God, they're gonna at some point we're gonna get to believe that at some point.
Oh, that'd be awesome. But yeah, I thought Dog State looked pretty strong, and I hate to say this, Dog State wasn't even the worst thing about this match. It was the D'Angelo family. There's a bit in the match where Tony D could have gone for a hot tag, but like he saw that Cutler James was going to attack Stacks, but then Tony D stood up for him and attacked him, and then this kind of allowed Stacks to get the hot tag, and Tony D didn't like this. He was kind of very mixed about this. So when Stacks took the heat in the match, Tony D, we really weren't sure if he was concerned for Stacks or if he was frustrated with him. It could have been a little bit of both. And then when Tony D finally got the hot tag, the match picked up a little bit, but then the match really falls apart. They kept telegraphing that either Tony D was going to turn on Stacks and Stacks was going to turn on Tony D, and they telegraphed it 3 different times in this match. I think once with the pipe, and then another time Stacks accidentally hit him or something, and then it seemed like everything was all good now, and everything like that, and then behind the rest back, Stacks finally turned on him and low blowed him and everything like that, and then Dog State won. They beat Did Tony D take the pin? I think he took the pin too, or did
he did because he got turned on.
Yeah, and then that was it. I give the match 3 stars though. I still it still had enough in there, but this stuff that took place between Stacks and Tony D really brought this match down. They kept telegraphing the turn, and by the time the turn actually happened, it made Tony D look really stupid because I'm going to talk about this because Mania later in the night, Mania Night 1 did this structure somewhat, but no one looked stupid from that. But here, everybody looks stupid from this, and it doesn't seem like the turn happened. It didn't really go where it should have, I guess, because it seems like Stacks is going to be. Well, we don't really know because there's a segment later in the night, but Stacks isn't with Dog State, and if he's not with Dog State, if he's on his own, he's not going to do well on his own because he's going to really struggle. So I give the match 3 stars, but this turn with Stacks and Tony D was not executed well at all. I don't know if Sean had 3 different ideas written down, and again, because he only got 59 minutes of sleep, he's he didn't want to look at his notes and be yeah, I'm just gonna keep everything in there and just make this a mess. And again, maybe he was grumpy too, because again, he only had 59 minutes of sleep, so he's okay, I gotta take my anger out on something. I'm gonna break up a tag team tonight, and he broke up the D'Angelo family, and that's commendable. They weren't really one of my favorite stables anyways, so I'm not really mad at him for it. I'm just kind of. It's Stockholm syndrome for me, You just expect at some point in the year he's going to break up a tag team, and this is the first one he's broken up this year. How many does he break up a year, or does it vary on his vices and everything like that?
It's close. It's going to be a lot.
What's the most I think the most he broke up in 1 year was 2023, right? He broke up he broke up so many teams that year. He broke up so many teams that year, actually, that the women's tag team titles in NXT couldn't even be a thing anymore because he broke up every team there and everything like that. So he's oh, great. Do you think his plan is just to get rid of tag team? You know how John Cena's plan is if he leaves, he's going to leave WWE. His plan is to just break up every team, that he's going to just get rid of tag team wrestling and NXT and everything like that. Yeah. But yeah, I give this 3 stars. But yeah, what did you think of this and how this was put together and everything like that?
3 stars. Tony D, if both of them are gonna not be the best by themselves. If I would have to say, Tony D is probably the better to go out on his own. It's just Stacks is gonna get so lost in the shuffle because they're gonna feud. And if he's not if Stacks isn't a part of Dark State, it's what was the point?
Yeah.
There's no point.
Do you think Sean was grumpy and just broke it up because he was?
I think Sean was tired.
Yeah.
So Sean's I gotta run the rest of the show, and I'm falling asleep here. I'm sleepy.
The Hang and Take It interview, and they're happy they're the tag champs, and I was happy for them. This was good. What do you think of this?
Fine.
And then we had the women's championship match. Stephanie Vacchio defending against Julia, Jordan Grace, and Jada Parker. Everybody looked really good in this match. Especially even Jada looked good in this match, which is pretty surprising. Everyone, had their moment to shine in this match. Corey Graves on commentary was ragging all over Jordan Grace, the fact that she's got to show him something and everything like that. Booker T was kind of doing that to Ricky Saints, but that's understandable because it's Booker T. You kind of expect that type of stuff. But Corey Graves knows better than this. I remember you wrote in the chat she's only had one match since she's been signed. How could she not show anything if she's only had one match? It's yeah, I don't know what he was talking about there, type of thing. I don't know if I don't know what was going on there, but this match was executed very well. This match didn't give me the vibe that Julia's a heel, like everyone's saying. I feel like we didn't really get anything different from Julia. Maybe they're gonna really go with it following this show, but she's definitely not a heel. She could be a tweener, but she's definitely not heel. Everyone looked really strong in this match, and it went exactly kind of how expected, where Stephanie Vacchio hit the STP. Is it the STP or STB? I'm actually not sure. It's that button.
STP? I don't know.
Yeah, but it's one of those letters in there, and she beat Jada Parker with it, and they told the story that Julia was gonna break up the pin but couldn't make it just in time, and they told a really good story where Julia could have won with the Hariba Danshi and everything like that. But this match was really good. I gave it 3.5 stars. It was just really good stuff. I really liked it. Stephanie Vacchio with Tatum was good, and I feel like you've now given more reason for a rematch with Julia and Stephanie Vacchio. And again, if Julia isn't heel yet, you can really use this match to get her closer to the heel path, because she definitely isn't in the. She's like I said, she's definitely not in the heel path at the moment. But what'd you think of this?
I liked it a lot. I thought it was great.
What'd you give it as a star rating?
3.5.
Do you think Julia's a heel, or do you think it's
no?
Yeah,
I thought so. I felt like that was really weird to have her return and just immediately fucking beat the crap out of Stephanie, which didn't really make any sense because there was no signs of them even there was no signs of them showing just trust of each other or any sort of dissension. So it was really weird.
Yeah. Then we had Lexus King get interviewed, and he's trying to find his cup, and he never finds it. Poor guy. What do you think of this? Poor guy.
Too bad.
I imagine they're gonna do this they're gonna do something with this in NXT. These guys will show up again. He'll ask for his cup back, and they'll do the magic trick again. And I feel like this time there'll be a wrestler, the next challenger to his cup with it, type of thing. You think that's gonna happen, or do you think I'm just talking out of my ass there?
Might be talking out of your ass. That'd be interesting, though. If you're talking out of your ass,
that wouldn't be good. So. Then Stats gets interviewed, and Luca Crucifino wants to know what's up, why he turned on the family, and Stack says look, I have a plan here. He tells Luca Crucifino to keep his phone on him and says he'll text him the plans. So it seems like something's going on there. What do you think about this? This is I should say it's interesting because I'm not interested in it, but it's a thing.
That's the thing that's happening, and I don't care.
I will say this: maybe if they put Stacks with Luca, though, I think he stands a better chance on it. Doing this heel thing than Then again, I feel like Luca and Stacks are even though they're together, I feel like without Tony D, they're still going to struggle. What do you think? Do you think that's the case, or do you think that's not the case?
I think it could be the case.
And then we had the main event. Not the show. We're not covering that today. We could. But we could. I forgot to watch it this week actually because it was too busy, too much stuff going on. So, yeah, I've only watched 3 episodes of main event this year, Chris. You might be proud of that.
I know it should be 0.
And maybe next year will be 0. because it could get canceled next year. But honestly, if main event got canceled, Chris, would that be the best year of wrestling for you?
Oh hell yeah!
Like, what if wrestling was like at an all-time low, and main event got canceled? Would you consider that a good year for you, even though if wrestling was it's at like 95 levels of bad? Would you consider it a good year if main event got canceled?
Yes.
I feel like you're just waiting for that. I feel like you go on news sites to look at daily to see if main event got canceled, and then when it's not canceled, you're like, "Fuck, cancel the show, please!" Like, if you took over WWE,
please.
I feel like if you took over WWE, the first thing you would do, you would cancel main event. Would that be the first thing you do? Like, done. This is canceled.
Yeah, I would do it on purpose.
But yeah, so we had the main event of this show, though. The last match of the card. It was the NXT Men's Championship match. It was Obafemi defending against Trick Williams and Javon Evans. This was awesome. This was a style-making performance for Javon Evans. He looked awesome in this match. Just really looked like he could have won this match on 15 different occasions. That's how good he was. He was the highlight of this whole match. I think he was in this whole match. I don't think he stopped the whole match either. I think he took... there was never a moment I can recall where he was laid out for a long amount of time. It was always him versus Trick, or always him versus Oba. Or they did three-way stuff. It was never... really much of a moment where it was Oba versus Trick or anything like that. So it's awesome for him. I'm happy for him. And yeah, he looked really awesome in this match. He had this match won on a few different occasions. I think there was a bar to this match because I'm pretty sure there was supposed to be a bit where Javon had the match won and Trick was supposed to pull the ref out, but I don't think the referee was in the right place. So when Trick pulled the ref out, he had to kind of do it at a weird time. It was really weird, but yeah, this match was awesome. Eventually, finally, Trick got knocked out, and Obafemi hit Javon twice with the Fall of Grace, and pinned him and retained his championship. It was just 4 3/4 stars. It was really great stuff. I really enjoyed this. And this was a really good performance for Javon Evans. I feel like, he's going to be the NXT champ. I think he's going to be the next NXT champion. I don't know when, but I feel like it's coming pretty damn soon. But yeah, what'd you think of this? I thought this was awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was great. Just an amazing triple threat. Javon Evans looks like a fucking... the next biggest star in WWE at this point. He is amazing. Yeah.
And you've set up a few matches. You've set up, Trick versus Oba in a 1-on-1 match, even though they kind of already did that. But you've set up a rematch because Trick didn't get pinned in this match. And then you've set up possibly Trick versus... Javon in a 1-on-1 match, and then you've also set up, Javon versus Oba in a 1-on-1 match. You set up a lot of 1-on-1 matches. I'm guessing this means Oba's staying in NXT the rest of the year. It's probably time for him to get called up, but I feel like he could stay in NXT too, and just stay the champion type of thing. There's still stuff he can do in NXT. It's not I'm pretty sure it got to the point with DIY where they were in NXT for so long. It got to a point okay, well, what the hell you keep doing with them? They've been there for so long, but Oba, there's still enough stuff in NXT I think he can do where left questioning what the hell he's doing there and all that type of stuff. But what do you think about all that? Do you think Oba's just ready to be called up tomorrow?
I think he's ready to be called up now.
Right this second?
Yes.
Hey, he still might though. He could get called up, and because don't forget, last year Dragunov dropped the belt right before the draft and got called up. So stranger things have happened, type of thing. So, but that was Stand and Deliver. I thought this was a really great show. all the matches I thought delivered for the most part. The only thing I really didn't like on the show, honestly, was the Stacks turn and everything like that. But everything else on this show delivered for the most part. I thought the NXT talent looked very strong. I am going to give it a B+. I think this show definitely did struggle a little bit from being on right before Mania, because obviously some of the matches, I think, towards the end probably had to get rushed and everything like that. So, like, they had to make sure they made Mania time and everything like that. But I'm going to give it a B+. I thought this was a great show right here. What do you think of this?
Yeah, I give it a B+ also, too. It was a great show. And
then it led immediately into WrestleMania. Oh, there was one more thing that happened that didn't make the air, but it was on their Instagram page. They set up a NXT Women's Title match between Stephanie Vacchio and Roxanne Perez. It seems like on the we're recording this on Monday. I don't know when you'll see this, but on tomorrow's episode of NXT / tonight's / yesterday's, depending on when you see this, / a year from now.
But 40 years from now.
Yeah, but yeah, so it seems, Roxanne Perez got upset that, like, Stephanie Vacchio got a bigger showcase than she did, which isn't really valid because you had a pretty good showcase there and then you walked off for no reason, so I don't know what you're talking about there. So it seems like they set up an NXT Women's Title match there. That's probably going to be, I imagine, if I had to make a guess, that they'll have this match, and then Cole Gray will cross Roxanne, and then maybe Roxanne and Cole will have a match, and then that will be Roxanne's final call-up to the main roster and everything like that. And that will be fine with me. Roxanne belongs up there. Cole, not yet, because Cole's had a lot of issues with injuries and things. I think Cole needs some more time in NXT. Do you agree with that, or do you think Cole Gray needs to be called up right now, right this second?
Right this second, if Roxanne goes up, she should go up.
Okay. We'll see what happens, though. But let's get to... But let's get to the WrestleMania, that took place this past week. Friday had the kickoff show. The hosts for that were Pat McAfee and Michael Cole again. Some things that happened there. Drew McIntyre got interviewed, but before he could really get much of his interview out, Damian Priest attacked him and they brawled to the back. Braun Breaker did Steiner Math and it was awesome. That was great. The New Day invaded the panel and were terrible. So that's a thing. Rhea Ripley got interviewed and they used that to set up the Women's World Title match, and then Gunther got interviewed and they used that to set up the Men's World Title match. I like the kickoff for the most part, though. I just didn't really like the New Day part. They're not money at the moment. So what'd you think of the kickoff?
It was fine.
Then we had the countdown show. We had the panel of Pat McAfee, Big E, Michael Cole, Wade Barrett, Jackie Redmond, and Peter Rosenberg. They weren't all on the panel all at once. I think the first hour was Cole, Big E, Pat McAfee, and Wade Barrett. And then Cole left, and Jackie Redmond tagged in for him. And then at one point, Pat McAfee and Barrett leave, and then Peter Rosenberg tags in for them. Yeah, everyone did well on the panel. Obviously it wasn't as good once Cole, Barrett and stuff got, off the panel and stuff, but it was still good enough. Michael Cole just rubbed it, and Pat McAfee rubbed it in Big E and Wade Barrett's faces that they were undefeated at WrestleMania. And Big E and Wade Barrett had a losing record, never won. That was awesome. I loved it. Michael Cole is just a saint anytime he's on camera at the moment. He was just he opened up right with it, I'm Michael Cole, I'm undefeated at WrestleMania, and then McAfee, he's undefeated at WrestleMania, and he just was and then we have Big E and Wade Barrett here, and they're and this at WrestleMania. Whoa, Cole, you're a savage. How do you feel about this? Michael Cole's just rubbing it in Big E and Wade Barrett's faces that they're not undefeated at WrestleMania and they haven't even won. And Cole and McAfee, how do you feel about this?
That's good for them.
And we
Wonderful.
We had some things happen, during the countdown show. Sam Roberts and Joe Tess, it showed them walking around backstage. It showed Jackie Redmond outside, kind of saying she's going to try to get words with people. And then, Kathy Kelly and Baron Saxton were backstage. They said they were going to get words with people. And then it showed Jackie Redmond and Peter Rosenberg walking around WWE World earlier in the day where they were just talking Mania. because that's what they do. And then Sam Roberts and Kathy Kelly showed them walking around backstage. Showed Byron Saxton at Cricket Zone getting picks from everyone at WrestleMania. And sort of that interview segment that Wade Barrett did with Charlotte Flair, which was pretty solid. Just kind of talked about, like, you know, like what she's been doing all that time she was away and everything like that. And the biggest thing that happened on both Countdown shows is we got some pretty big news. We found out that WWE, well, at least we thought originally, was partnering with AAA, but it's not just that. They bought AAA. You know, they showed a video package of the an event coming up called Worlds Collide, which obviously is a tie-in because when AAA did the first, is it pay-per-view or first like show in general? It was you know, all the way
Pay-per-view.
Yeah, okay. So I remember, like, I wasn't sure that was the first show, but when they did the first pay-per-view, it was a Worlds Collide event, and yeah, WWE and AAA are in a partnership now. They had like the CEOs and like the owners of AAA there, and you know, they had all the Latina talent, and the biggest one they showed, well, obviously the one that we haven't seen yet and everything like that, because obviously the biggest one probably there was Ray and everything like that, but a big name that was there that we haven't seen before in WWE was Vikingo. And this is obviously interesting because he's never been in WWE before, and he's, you know, strictly a AAA talent and everything like that. And yeah, WWE announced this partnership and everything like that. Really excited about this partnership. You know, WWE's really just been dipping their toes and doing the partnerships and everything like that. You know, with TNA, which you know, has been very successful so far. They have like a small partnership with GCW because obviously the last two of GCW's shows that they did this past weekend had to do with the WWE ID Championship tournament. And obviously, you know, some of the wrestlers went and did Bloodsport, and they've been doing that for a little bit. They have a partnership with Pro Wrestling Noah because they've had some wrestlers go over there, and there's a wrestler who's teaming with Josh Briggs right now, whose name I can't think of because I just forget. He's been wrestling in NXT a lot recently. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. You know, the fact that we're having this partnership and everything like that. Really early days to see what this partnership's going to mean. The only thing we know about it really at the moment is that there's going to be a Worlds Collide event. You know, from at like 3 p.m. I'm not really sure what that's going to mean because it seems like is it just NXT for that show? Because also, as we found out, Money in the Bank also was going to be that day. And that's the same day at 7 p.m. So I don't know if, like, it's going to be both main roster and NXT, because when they showed the logo for it, it just showed NXT. But I imagine there's going to be some main roster talent there. I would think it'd be weird if that wasn't the case. But yeah, I'm excited about this. You know, I'm really interested to see what this comes of this, and I'm really happy about this. What do you think about this event coming up and this partnership that WWE and AAA have with each other and everything like that?
What? What were you saying?
Did you not hear me at the whole time? Oh, was I?
No, just that last one.
Oh, I just asked you what you think of this partnership.
Oh, I love it. It's great. At first, I was like, when they showed like Dorian's mom, I thought she was a fucking doll. I was like, is that a real human being? But like the partnership, I think is going to be great, and I think Worlds Collide is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. You know, the biggest thing I would do with this partnership, and then we can like actually review Mania, but you know, do this event, and then maybe at this event, you know, I think AAA show should be like on the network, not the network, but Peacock and everything like that. Maybe work it around too, where they can get some of the weekly content out there and everything like that. Have some of the talent crossover with WWE and everything like that. You know, there's a lot of good that could come out of this partnership and everything like that. And this is a partnership I think that AAA needed because the product this past year or so has been kind of in the toilet a little bit. Hasn't been very good recently. So WWE buying it, I think, can only help the product and everything like that. I imagine they're gonna get rid of their champion because it's Alberto El Patron at the moment, and he's a very controversial figure in the wrestling community. So I imagine he's gonna be gone pretty quickly. That's kind of obviously a bad, a little bit of a bad foot with WWE to do because obviously. They have. I think they should get rid of him, but then there's going to be a lot of negativity if they do get rid of him because obviously the biggest thing is the biggest complaint we've seen is everyone's worried that WWE is going to take it over, and if WWE forces their hand to get rid of him, I could see that backfiring on WWE with the community and everything like that. Obviously, the funniest thing about this partnership, as you've been sharing online, is a lot of people wasted no time. I think doing the countdown show of Mania Saturday, a lot of it was spent you sending me messages and stuff about people getting upset about this partnership online. And then what happened, within a good 15 minutes that we saw that stuff online type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
So
it's really funny.
Yeah. So a lot of people are, pretty negative towards this partnership. And again, if this was... if Vince was still running things and everything like that, that would be totally valid. But I feel like we've seen WWE has partnered, with companies lately, and they've been able to do their thing. I guess this is different, because obviously they actually own this. With the other ones, they don't own those companies, so I can see the worry there, I guess. But I'm just gonna kind of wait and see how it happens. We haven't really seen anything as of recent where WWE has powdered or purchased a company and, not let them do their thing and everything like that, because it seems like the CEOs that are there now are still going to be there. Like they just don't own it anymore type of thing. So, but yeah, anything else before I move on? Anything more you want to say about this partnership?
That's good. I love it.
And then Rey Mysterio got interviewed. He talked a lot about this partnership, and this is where we found out that he had to pull out of WrestleMania due to injury. So Rey Fénix is going to take his place in the match with El Grande Americano and everything like that. So unfortunate, but we figured that was going to happen because there was just no way he was going to. The fact that he was on his feet on the show was just insane because he had to be helped to the back the previous night. So that was a victory in and of itself. What do you think of this interview? Well, before we move on.
It sucks, but yeah, it came at the worst time.
Yeah, definitely. And then we had some video packages and interviews with Gunther and Jey Uso that were very good. The New Day got interviewed talking about how they're going to win the World Tag Team titles and make history. Bayley, it showed her that she had been attacked by somebody backstage, and it's implied that it was Liv and Raquel because they showed up, so they're thinking that they can just win. They're just going to win via forfeit at Mania Night 2, but Adam Pearce is like, no, the match is still happening tomorrow night, and he tells Lyra Valkyria to find a tag partner. This was interesting to build intrigue tonight too, and obviously what we got out of that was good. What do you think of this segment right here?
It was fine.
And then Stephanie McMahon, this was like the last thing worth talking about on the Countdown show. It showed her get interviewed, and she talked about the Hall of Fame the night before, the partnership with AAA, and her podcast and stuff she's got coming up and everything like that. So good for her. It was good stuff.
Yeah.
Countdown show was good. Obviously, Saturdays was a better Countdown shows than Sundays because it was more significant because they announced the AAA partnership. But other than that, 3 hours was just way too long for the Countdown show, especially because I had been watching Stand and Deliver. And yesterday where we were, it's like the first day it's been like nice and sunny out in like weeks. Actually, not even weeks, months. And I was thinking, I can, for a little bit, I can go outside and enjoy myself in between Stand and Deliver and, WrestleMania. But the wrestling gods were like, yeah, no, and you're not going outside today. You're going to sit down and watch wrestling in your room with no one around and watch it yourself. So it was... the wrestling gods smiled on me Sunday, but they were like, nope, you're watching this. You're doing nothing but watching wrestling all day, Saturday. So, that's just a thing that happens sometimes, because sometimes the wrestling gods are good to us, sometimes they're bad to us. So
Exactly.
that's a thing you have to deal with. Then we had the show. We had the commentary team of Wade Barrett, Michael Cole, and Pat McAfee on commentary for both nights. Wade Barrett's commentary debut, which I didn't even really notice because, I didn't really notice until they said it, because I thought he did commentary before, but no. And night 2 is funny because Michael Cole actually said that, and I couldn't believe he said this, that Wade Barrett lost his WrestleMania virginity. And I was like, wait, what? I guess he lost his WrestleMania virginity, Chris. That's the thing that happened to Wade Barrett last night. So,
yeah.
Good
for him.
Good. In all seriousness, I'm really happy Wade Barrett, got to call WrestleMania. It's a really good spot for him. And how do you feel about the commentary team? I thought the commentary team was awesome for both nights.
Yeah, I thought they were great.
And then we didn't really mention this in our chat or anything like that, but they had new commentary tables. Obviously, the commentary tables have been new anyways, but this was kind of set up like the panel commentary tables, everything like that. It looked really professional and everything like that. I really like the commentary tables. I don't think this is going to be the permanent commentary tables. I think they're just going to do these commentary tables just for the big shows. I think at SummerSlam you'll see these commentary tables again. But I really liked these commentary tables. How'd you feel about the commentary tables? I thought they looked awesome.
Yeah, look cool.
Poor Seth Rollins and CM Punk though, and somebody else. I think Drew had to go through these tables. So poor guys.
Yeah.
But then we had the intro. We had the national anthem being performed by Jelly Roll. I think he's cool. So that's cool. And then Triple H welcomed everyone to WrestleMania. What'd you think of all these three things? I really liked the cold open. I thought the cold open really hyped us up for WrestleMania.
Yeah, the cold open was really good. I liked it.
And then we had the World Heavyweight Championship match to kick off WrestleMania. It was Gunther defending against Jey Uso. Jey Uso had a special entrance where, he had people run out with flags that said yeet and everything like that. And then, he had the cheerleaders in the crowd and everything like that. I'm glad he didn't come out and yeet. I was kind of worried he was... I mean, he did a little bit, but, I was worried he was going to really do it because it's his first Mania where, that really took off and everything like that. But I'm glad he waited till, after the match and everything like that to do it. And then, this match was a great opener right here. Jey Uso looked very aggressive in this match, and Gunther really took advantage of Jey Uso's aggressiveness and everything like that. At one point, he clocks Jey Uso behind the rest back with the belt and nearly makes him pass out to the choke. Jey Uso, hits a spear on Gunther and he kicks out at 2.99999, going on forever. And then eventually, Jey Uso hits a spear and then 3 splashes in a row onto Gunther. This is after Gunther too was almost beat him with a power bomb and the splash and everything like that. And Jey Uso then puts Gunther in the chokehold, and Gunther actually taps out. And I really like this because Gunther didn't tap out because of the pain. He just knew he had no way to get out of this submission or anything like that. And Gunther just tapped out. And I actually think this Gunther tapping out isn't going to make him look weak because, it's the first time he's tapped out or anything like that. And I feel like, I don't know when we'll see Gunther again or anything like that, but when we see Gunther again, I feel like he's going to be even more aggressive, which is scary enough as it is to think about, but he's going to be even more aggressive than he already was. I think this tap out's actually going to, could be, everyone kind of gets mad when people tap out that shouldn't tap out, but this tap out could actually benefit Gunther if they do it right and everything like that. But yeah, Jey Uso became the new World Heavyweight Champion. He celebrated. Jimmy Uso came out and they embraced, and this was 4 stars. I thought this was a great opener. I thought this match really delivered. And I was really happy for Jey Uso to win the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, obviously, we can, at the end of the day, debate how long he should even have this belt. How well is this one actually going to go? But for the moment, I'm glad they did it. It was absolutely well-deserved. And, we can figure it out, the booking of this afterwards. But the fact that it even happened, should have absolutely happened, and I'm glad it happened. But we could talk about the book at another time. I'm just happy it happened. But yeah, I give this 4 stars. What do you think of this?
I give it 4 stars too. I thought it was a really good match. At one point, it looked like Jay almost hurt himself at one point. But I've loved it. I've said this a million times, and I say it a million more times. I've been a fan of the Usos since the beginning. They're one of my favorite tag teams, if not my favorite tag team in wrestling history. I absolutely love those guys. And I'm just so happy for Jay, and he absolutely earned this. And now we're gonna see the true reaction for Jey Uso being champion, because it was pretty loud in that arena.
Yeah.
But now we're gonna see it week in and week out, like for however long he holds the title. For like, what's the reaction gonna be? Is he gonna go to? Is it gonna be more mixed? Is it gonna be more boos than cheers? Like, what's it like now? It's like that you get out of the WrestleMania feeling like, and the next couple of weeks is gonna be very crucial for him, because they might start. I mean, they were starting to turn on him already, but it could get worse. But we'll see. But I'm very happy for him, and him and Jimmy having that moment in the ring together, yeeting. Jonathan and Joshua was a really awesome sight to see. Yeah, just loved every minute. I loved it. It was awesome.
And yeah, I'm interested to see, afterwards, like we talked about, he has enough heels to go against, too, and he has, like, a lot of people, that lost some championships on this show, a lot of people that turned he has a lot of history with. And I feel like, if it's booked well, and, I think also the big thing is the chase is over now. He's not really in that underdog role anymore. He's going to be the thing where he's the champion now. And I think Cody, with this title reign, bounced back from it okay. Obviously there was bits in his title reign where it was kind of boring. But I feel like overall Cody benefited. He never got stale. Honestly, up until this weekend, he was still getting relatively positive reactions. Again, that could have just been a one-time thing. But
yeah, I feel like it was a one-time thing.
Yeah, but I think I think if they do it right, the best thing they could do too is just not give him a long title reign too, because I don't know if it's one of those wrestlers that need a long title reign. But we'll see. I'm interested to see what happens. But let's continue to talk about WrestleMania Night 1. We had the World Tag Team title match. It was the War Raiders defending against the New Day. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about this match. This match, technically in the ring, no one did anything wrong. Everyone worked well in this match. It's just this match really wasn't worth caring about. This was not a Mania match, and no one cared about this match. I didn't care about this match. And the New Day won, which was very predictable, and they won by cheating. We didn't get Big E, so it seems like this New Day turn's just been a failure. I feel like if we were ever going to get Big E, this would have been the time to get Big E. He's there. It's Mania time. The New Day won the World Tag Team titles. They're doing this whole gimmick where they mention the New Day anytime they have belts. The belts matter. I don't think this is going to be one of those times, because they haven't been showcased even without them. I don't think it's going to change with them. So this match is... Honestly, I wrote 2 3/4 stars, but talking about it, it's like 2.5. Like, nothing in the ring was really bad, but I just didn't care.
I give it 2. It was... I really didn't watch it, because to me, it's not worth my time. The New Day are, as I've coined them plenty of times, the bland day. They took everything that made the New Day interesting, and they went, you know what? Let's reverse course. Let's get rid of the catchy theme song. Let's get rid of the merch. Let's get rid of the cereal. Let's get rid of the pancakes. Let's get rid of everything that made them the New Day, and make them these heels that are incredibly bland. And it showed at WrestleMania, where no one reacted. There was not a reaction in the crowd that night when they came out. And I don't think it's going to get any better.
And again, I think the most unfortunate thing about this is we could have got that kick-ass TLC tag title match we're going to get with, on SmackDown. And the SmackDown tag division deserved a Mania match. Like, they built for months that they were the big story on SmackDown, other than, like, the WWE Championship and the Bloodline thing, was actually the WWE tag division. Like, they had so many options. They really did a good job building like a tag title match out of that. And then we got this instead that was like thrown together in like 2 weeks. Like, why did this did not belong on Mania? If anyone thinks that belonged on Mania, it was the WWE tag title, the TLC tag title match. I would have blown the roof off off the building. Like,
absolutely. And it lacked. And that's the reason why. WrestleMania Night 1 didn't feel like WrestleMania. If they had thrown the TLC match on the fucking show at WrestleMania, it would have felt like a WrestleMania, because there's always some type of ladder match at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Especially because it's the Motor City's first Mania. Why would they not have a Mania match? Like,
Stupid.
Yeah. This match did not belong on Mania. This should have been on after. This should have been on tonight. I mean, type of thing. So, and again, I don't think the New Day. They keep saying the New Day. The New Day's been saying all week when we have the tag championships, they get showcased. I don't think that's gonna. I think that's gonna be with that title reign where it's not gonna get showcased, because they haven't been showcased already as heels. I don't think it's gonna change anything. So, yeah, this match was stupid. Honestly, this match is like a 2-star match, but my feelings on it's like a 1-star match type of thing, because this match just is it's a bunch of nothings. So,
it's a 1-star match for you, and honestly,
yeah.
Coming out of it, feels like a 1-star.
I know, but like again, the moves in the win were like good, so you gotta give them the props there. They did good things. And then we had the Naomi versus Jade Cargill. This was very good. I kind of figured this match would be good. I feel like the next 2 matches I consider the sleeper matches of WrestleMania, in terms of like what matches you wouldn't really think would be great going into it, and then really surprised you. This match, I kind of figured they could get it together, since Naomi's really good and Jade Cargill's been working very hard and everything like that. Naomi has new theme music. I don't know if it's good or not, because it's better than the song she had before, but it's still too early. I haven't really heard it enough either. So, it's too early to judge. I get why they
changed it, because she's a heel now.
Yeah.
And her saying her name in the beginning evokes a crowd reaction.
Right. For some reason. Jade Cargill, had a good entrance where there was a weatherman talking about the weather report and everything like that, and saying that a storm was coming, and it did. So that's good. And there was a weather report that a weatherman got right too, so that's good for him. Good job. And yeah, this match was very good. Both women really went back and forth with each other. Naomi hit a thrill seeker onto the floor, another thrill seeker, the X Factor, onto the floor, and then Jade Cargill started to mount a comeback. She ended up winning with the power bomb, followed by the jaded finisher and everything like that. I think the powerbomb looked a little rough. I think that was gonna be the finish, but like there was a moment where you could definitely tell Jade was making sure Naomi was okay, type of thing. But this match was still very good. I gave it 3 3/4 stars. And the powerbomb, I'm not really going to say it's Jade's fault, because shit happens sometimes. Because before this, I think Naomi went for something else and she just landed wrong and everything like that. So it was more just kind of shit happens type of thing. But I thought this was very good. I gave it 3 3/4 stars. Jade Cargill deserved to win this. Even though Naomi lost, I think this feud's going to continue. I imagine on SmackDown this week, they're going to do something where Naomi gets, Jay gets attacked by Naomi, and they do some type of stipulation match at Backlash, or like the SmackDown before Backlash. But I thought this match was very good. I give it 3 3/4 stars. What'd you think of this?
I give it 3 3/4 stars too. I think they worked really well together. This is Jade's best match in WWE, hands down. She was really good. Naomi was really good. I liked that powerbomb. I thought it looked more impactful. the way that it was executed. Yeah, and just, for Jade's first singles match on the biggest stage a year later, I thought she was really good.
Absolutely. I think when you say best match WWE, I think this is probably her best match in general ever, probably. Because she hasn't, because we've basically seen her whole wrestling career because she hasn't had like a dark match or anything. The only match I guess you could say tops it is that match where it was Jade and Shaq versus Cody and Red Velvet. Maybe that match rivals it, but I'm not really going to count that one because I don't think Jade did much in that match. I think it was mainly Cody and Shaq carrying the load. Like, this is probably her best match ever in general that she's had, type of thing. So, then we had the men's United States Championship match. It was LA Knight defended against Jacob Fatu, and this was the match that was the sleep on the show. I figured this match would be like good, but obviously I was kind of thinking it was going to be like more, mainly like Jacob Fatu dominating and everything like that, and LA Knight getting more hope spots. But they really surprised us. It was more so. It was more. I would say I wouldn't say 50-50. It was more like a 60. 40 type of match where a lot of it was Fatu, and LA Knight didn't just get hope spots, and he actually took it to Fatu on occasions and everything like that. And the biggest spot of the match was Fatu going for the moonsault and LA Knight catching him into the BFT, which I think is great. That looks good when he did that. Eventually, Fatu did win when he hit 2 moonsaults and became the new men's United States champion. I love the fact that he won. He didn't just win barely type of thing. He dominated, fought, LA Knight for like a couple minutes by that point, and I got on a roll and everything like that. And he won clean too. He didn't really do any heel tactics of this match to get the advantage or anything like that. He basically beat LA Knight straight up. There was no bloodline interference. Like I said, there was no thumb to the eyes or any of that. He just won it and beat LA Knight and everything like that. And this made Jacob Fatu look like a star. LA Knight looked really strong in defeat and everything like that. And I gave this I gave it 4 stars. A really good star-making performance. And I just think Jacob Fatu is going to take this U.S. Championship to the promised land, and he's going to make this a really prestigious title, because that's the one title other than the women's tag titles that's probably hasn't been very prestigious since Triple H took over. And now that I think that it's on Jacob Fatu and they want to build the future around him, I think he's going to really do a lot of wonders for this championship. I think, like I said in the predictions video, I think this should happen. I think he should be the one that becomes the longest reigning men's United States champion. I think Lex Luger, he had that belt a while when he won it. I think he should break the record. I think if it's not Fatu, there's really no one else I don't think that could break Lex Luger's record. But I give this 4 stars. What'd you think of this?
I heard 4 stars. It was really good. It was a great match. Star-making performance for Jacob Fatu. LA Knight looked really good in defeat. But like you said, this is the rocket ship for him. I was really impressed and loved it.
Do you think he should be the longest reigning men's champion for the men's United States champion, or nah?
Yeah, I feel like he's the type of person that would benefit from that sort of moniker.
And I hope when I say that too, I hope it's not like one of those things where like he holds the belt and never defend. Like I want him to actually defend this belt. I
want him to have 0 title defenses.
Just never defends it and just shows up and everything like that. So
treats the belt like it's not even there.
Do you remember when Ambrose had the U.S. belt? Ambrose did a promo where he mentioned he was the longest reigning U.S. champ by that point, and Roman called it out backstage. He's like, dude, you haven't defended that belt ever. It was awesome.
It was the in between stage too of the Shield turning into faces too. So it was it was really weird because he was the longest reigning U.S. champion and no one gave a shit.
And he mentioned it backstage in this promo, and Roman was just like, "Dude, you've barely defended that thing." Type of thing. It was awesome.
Defended 3 times.
If he's gonna defend it, I think he should defend it 40 times. Type of thing, a lot. like, and just like add to that resume. Just like I don't remember how many times Gunther defended the IC belt. He should when he had that long reign. He should defend it about that many times, type of thing. I think he might have to do more because I think the U.S. title reign, has a little bit more to it. Honestly, I wouldn't even have him lose the belt either. I would have him vacate it and like, or like if he loses, have it be like in a triple threat match where he doesn't get pinned or something like that type of thing.
Or he loses it in a squash
to Tony D. But this
hard truth.
This title reign's gonna be fucking scary though. I feel like we're gonna see like a lot of we're talking about how great this title reign is. It could also be scary. This is a scary title reign that could happen. Not like Gunther's title reign where that was like had some class behind it. There's gonna be no class. There's gonna be no class behind this title reign.
All class. All class.
Then we have really weird. The next two matches. We have opposite feelings, not like opposite feelings like we have different opinions, but we have opposite feelings in terms of we feel one way about the match. You'll see what I mean. It's really hard to explain until I actually explain the matches, but you got the first one. It was Rey Fenix versus El Grande Americano. El Grande Americano.
El Grande de Chad Gable, yes.
I don't know what you're talking about. This was his first WrestleMania match.
It's weird. You click on El Grande Americano. What is it? What is it? Redirected from El Grande Americano, Chad Gable.
Wikipedia doesn't know what they're doing, type of thing.
Chad
A lot of people.
El Grande Americano. Why does it say that under his ring names? I wonder why.
Because it's Wikipedia. Everyone can just go edit that shit and just change it and everything like that. So
I wonder why.
But this was El Grande Americano's first WrestleMania. Whether under that gimmick.
He's had a couple of them.
Well, with this name though, in your mind, with this name, so.
Yeah, he's had a couple. He's had quite a few actually.
But El Grande Americano, they really gave him all the bells and whistles. You got a really good entrance where it looked like the old school Lucha Libre video package they showed for him a couple weeks ago. And Rey Fenix, obviously he didn't really get much of a Mania entrance because they didn't really know until this night that he was going to be competing at WrestleMania. So like I can kind of understand why he didn't get like a big entrance or anything like that, because I think Penta got one, but Rey Fenix didn't. But again, I'm not going to fault them for that because they didn't even know Rey Fenix was going to be wrestling until like the night before. So kind of hard to come up with a Mania entrance for him. This match was excellent. These two had really good chemistry with each other. One thing, the commentaries mentioned, that's hopeful is, maybe some information will come out about El Grande Americano now that WWE bought AAA. Like, they can do some digging now and finally find stuff about him and everything like that. But we'll see.
It's easy, actually. Pretty easy. Just look at him. You can tell he looks like Chad Gable.
Well, it might be easier, that,
It's pretty easy to look at him.
All I see is a wrestler there. I see a wrestler under a mask. That's what I see.
You can pretty much see the same physique and everything. Pretty much it's the exact same as Chad Gable.
Again, you take inspiration.
Even when he says "gracias," sounds like Chad Gable.
Some people sound alike, like in Family Guy. Some people sound alike in Family Guy.
They sound alike. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
they do because it's one and the same.
But before the match, I forgot to even mention it. El Grande Americano starts, mouthing off at is it how you, Vikingo? I'm trying to see El Hijo del Vikingo. I think that's how you say his full name.
Yep. It's El Hijo de Vikingo or Hijo de Vikingo.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just gonna say Vikingo because that's easier. So
that's way easier. I think it translates to, if I remember correctly, it's son of Vikingo. I think is what it means.
Oh, was his father a wrestler before him, or like is that just?
Or it's just some because in Mexico normally it's not your child that takes it over. Someone will buy the rights to the name, and they name them that.
What if it's gonna buy the rights to El Grande Americano then?
You could.
Could be Chad Gable that buys the rights to it. Could be.
I mean, he already has.
Not officially. We don't know
Yeah,
that.
he's there. He wrestled last night. He wrestled on Saturday.
You mean Friday? You're getting your days wrong. You're getting your days mixed up.
He
So
wrestled on Saturday, remember? He was in the ring with Ray Phoenix.
he wasn't even there Saturday. He. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Conveniently, he's skipping work, huh? That's totally on the
Because he wasn't booked for WrestleMania. So
Oh, yeah, he was booked for WrestleMania. Yeah.
yeah,
He just happened to be in the ring. Wrestling Ray Phoenix.
he might have been watching like backstage or something, type of thing. So
Yeah, he was watching awfully close in the ring.
what was it? Maybe it's by Gorilla. I think it's what you mean. So
I think he was in the ring wrestling. Actually, the more I think about it.
again, you have your theories. We're just gonna let the storyline play out. So,
Theories,
huh?
no theory, true.
Just let the story play out. We got to see what happens. So, but
Truth.
there's a bit in the match where Al Grande Americano puts the blade in his mask like he's been doing the past few weeks. And Ray Phoenix, did his kick from the top rope that he typically does. And because he had the blade in his mask, that's kind of caused Ray Phoenix to, hurt his leg, which made a lot of sense. And then, this...
I thought there was a couple of plot holes in that, too, because he was punching him in the face with the plate, and he didn't,
Yeah.
his hand wasn't hurting.
Also, when he did the ankle lock, he didn't do it to the leg that kicked the
He
face.
did the wrong ankle. When
But
when he did the ankle lock, I was like, you grabbed the wrong ankle.
yeah. But he got the ropes, and then eventually Al Grande Americano did the run-in headbutt, and obviously when he kind of looks over, he kind of notices that this kind of put Ray Phoenix out, and then Al Grande Americano hit the diving headbutt, and he won. Obviously very weird. At first I was thinking, okay, they're going to do this because they showed replays of this for a little bit. Like, actually showed the replay of Al Grande Americano putting the blade in his mask. And I'm thinking, okay, so they're going to, like, restart the match and everything like that because they wouldn't have, like, shown that in the replay. Like, but no, this stands. Afterwards, Vikingo came and checked on him and everything like that. And that was it. This was a mistake. I understand. I think El Grande Americano was supposed to win if it was Rey Mysterio, because obviously they wanted to have this storyline play out. It was also his first Mania match, so it makes sense to put him over in his debut and everything like that. But this doesn't really make sense. I understand they want to keep this going, but one, this was not the night to have this happen because you just literally announced a partnership. And like you bought AAA, literally the next thing that happens after the show, it was they announced the partnership, but like again, and they had a Vikingo ringside, and you having, Ray Phoenix lose has been a pretty big part of AAA and everything like that. So that was kind of not good timing there. Regardless if it was Rey Mysterio or Ray Phoenix, they should have called an audible and had Al Grande Americano lose. You don't even have to. And this storyline or everything like that of finding out who he is and everything like that. You could just, keep it going. Especially, too, because they did the bit earlier, where Vikingo kicked him. You could have had that happen, like, in the match and everything like that, where, like, something happens where the ref gets distracted and then that happens. And that gives him an out to lose. This was Ray Phoenix's first Mania, and the fact that he just came here and lost. And again, I get it. It wasn't part of the plan that he was even supposed to be here. They didn't want to pivot, but they should have pivoted here. They should have just given Ray Phoenix the win. I know his brother loses the next night, but I don't have an issue with that because we'll get to that later. But there's more bells and whistles.
More to it.
Yeah, but Ray Phoenix absolutely should have won. There was no reason he should have lost. And this was just really stupid. Not really. And again, I think because they announced the partnership, it's even more stupider why this happened. So the match, honestly, before this happened, it was probably like a 3 3/4 star match. But this really brings this match down to like probably 3.25. The result really ruins this match. I mean, it was really stupid. But what did you think of this?
It's weird because under regular circumstances, I think that this match would have been a lot higher, rating wise, for both of us. But since it was done so, I mean, you don't even have to unmask El Grande Americano in that match. You don't even have to do that. If you just had Rey Fenix win, I think we would have been okay with it. But it's like the fact that they announced the partnership with AAA and the partnership and the fact that they bought them, and Worlds Collide and everything, and you have Rey Fenix lose his WrestleMania debut in 7 minutes and 55 seconds, and to Chad Gable wearing a mask. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, I get, like, the match itself was fine, but the outcome should have been Rey Fenix winning and giving him the win. I thought that, and I said this to you and Steve, this was the kind of the first major misstep by Triple H. Like, in terms of, okay, you announce this huge historic acquisition. You set up this big pay-per-view, this big PLE in June, and then you have Vikingo on the kickoff show, and then Vikingo is in the crowd. He does the kick that results in nothing in the match. It was almost like it didn't happen. And then after the match, you cut to the acquisition again. I was like, and you show the family, and you show Dorian Roldan and his mom and the other. I forget who the other guy was too, who's in charge of AAA. But, what the fuck are we doing here? I was like, that's the best thing to do would be Rey Fenix wins, and then you cut to it. You cut to the major acquisition announcement, and then you cut to the Roldan family. And that would have been way better.
Yeah,
it just looks bad optically.
Yeah, and I feel like I still would have done all this and then have the match restarted or something. Like Vikingo shows
that too. That's what I thought they were going to do. I'm like, Vikingo's going to come in, and then he's going to show the referee, look, he used the steel plate, and then they go to the replay, and then they restart the match, and then Phoenix wins. And I'm like, okay, so at least like Phoenix got an assist from Vikingo to restart the match. But it was like Vikingo goes in the ring, helps. First of all, I thought he was going to fucking turn on him for a second because the way how it was the camera angle was. That's usually it is when you set up a match between someone turning on someone, and it was like, and then they just fade to the acquisition announcement. I was like, that's weird. That's really weird.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going to hurt Rey Fenix in the long term. It's just, again,
I don't think so either. It's just, he should have won.
Yeah, so, and yeah, then Shawn Michaels comes out very sleepy and announces the attendance. I feel like Triple H did this to Reb Shawn Michaels, and it's really funny.
People were making fun of like the card because it was like the attendance number was like in 64 font. So it's like when he held the card like the other way, you could see it was like fucking 100 font.
Right.
It's like, man, he really can't see.
He's tired. I hope. I know for a fact too. He probably stayed the rest of the show too. After this too, he
went to go in some fucking corridor to go to sleep.
Yeah. And then we had the women's championship match. It was Tiffany Stratton defended against Charlotte Flair. Again, like we said, this is a match that was changed. But opinion change of it based off the result, but in the other direction, because this match was very clunky. It was very
extremely. At least like At least like the Phoenix and El Grande Americano match, like it was fluid.
Yeah. But this match, I don't know what was going on here. I mean, it definitely seems like, typically when people have backstage heat with each other, usually that can make matches better. Like, Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart's the biggest example of that. But yeah,
They could work together still.
this match was not that.
The opposite.
This match was the opposite. This match, did not look. Nobody looked good in this match. Charlotte Flair, like you said off camera, was sandbagging Tiffany Stratton.
So obvious.
Yeah, and but the biggest thing about this match was the results. If this match had a different result, we would probably be really shitting on it more than we are already. But the result needed to be Tiffany Stratton winning. Tiffany Stratton did win, which I was happy about, and that was the biggest thing that needed to happen because Tiffany Stratton looked real bad in this feud up until a couple weeks ago, but then it was one of those things. But then if Tiffany Stratton still loses here, then that promo segment they did on SmackDown is really for naught. I mean, they're not even showing that interview anyways, so so
they edited it down so much.
Yeah, so I feel like Tiffany Stratton really needed to win to kind of solidify herself and kind of get her career kind of back on track and everything like that. And that's what happened. She wins with the prettiest moonsault ever, and they protected her finish. I don't think Charlotte Flair kicked out of it or anything like that.
No, she didn't. Thankfully, thank God she didn't.
But yeah, it was looking worrying. Tiffany Stratton broke all of her front teeth in this match, and this match is probably
apparently it was just the camera angle, but because she was bloodied a little bit. Like in her mouth, but her teeth were good.
Yeah, but
because from the camera angle that we saw, it looked like she had fucking her teeth were knocked out.
But I give this match probably 2.5. It's really probably like a 1 3/4 stars. But again, Tiffany Stratton winning really ups this for me just because it was the business. It was the business that needed to happen. I assume this is going to be the end of this feud because it's.
I would hope so.
Yeah, because it's been very
uncomfortable. Of WWE too, it needs to be it.
Yeah. But yeah, this is 2.5 stars, mainly because of the victory of Tiffany Stratton. So, what'd you think?
If Tiffany had lost, for me, it probably would be in the negatives. Because Charlotte would you could fucking tell that Charlotte wasn't winning by her body language.
Yeah.
When she isn't winning or isn't supposed to win, she goes into business for herself, and she kind of not like back in the day she wouldn't do this. This is more of like a fucking more so recent thing with her.
Yeah.
Where you can tell when she's gonna lose. Like obviously, like in that time, like on Saturday, you couldn't really tell, but like looking back at it now, like her body language, you knew she was losing.
Yeah.
Because she just fucking has this constant bitch face on herself now. And you could fucking tell she was sandbagging Tiffany 1,000%. There are some personal issues with them that revolved around that segment.
Mm-hmm.
Like Charlotte's still upset about her divorce from Andrade, even though it's been like however many months now. It's been quite a while since they got divorced. They got divorced last summer.
I mean, though, that's still not something easy to get over, in this amount.
That's not something that they truly look like a really happy couple together, but relationship-wise, it probably didn't work out.
Especially, too, because they're still backstage because they're both on Smack. I imagine that's why they're going to do this draft, so that way,
get her off of SmackDown.
Or Andrade off of SmackDown.
Or Andrade, yeah, because that wouldn't make any sense for just move Andrade. But yeah, it's just really, it just looking at it now, it's like, yeah, she was sandbagging her, and you can completely see it. there was at one point like near the end where Tiffany was trying to like lift her up and she was like fucking just dead weight. It's like what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you sandbagging her? And a lot of it, I think, it stems from that in-ring segment where, you know, it was more so Tiffany striking back at Charlotte for Charlotte bringing up the fact that Kaiser was in her DMs, and it just was not pretty. It was obvious that there's some issues going on between them, even though Tiffany tried to be the bigger woman by apologizing a few days ago. But it just did this match just sucked, and thankfully Tiffany won, because if she didn't win, I just don't know, because that would absolutely murder Tiffany as a babyface and completely nuke her. So I'm happy she won, because she absolutely needed the win more than Charlotte. Charlotte doesn't need to fucking win a championship ever again. But will she? Yes. Does she need to win at every WrestleMania? Probably not. But yeah, this is just, I'm just really happy that Tiffany won. Where, like, exactly like you said, like, it's the exact opposite of the match that was before this, where it's like we're very happy with the outcome in this women's championship match, but the outcome of the previous match we didn't like. So it's I give it 1.5 stars just for the fact that Tiffany won.
That's fair. And yeah, then we had the Hall of Fame segment, which was cool. Triple H came out and did his entrance. The only one that wasn't there was Lex Luger. I imagine it's because of its health issues and everything like that. I don't think there was anything.
I don't know. That whole thing was weird. Like, people are saying like he had a prior commitment, and I'm like, why would he have a prior commitment when there's, WrestleMania? But then I saw he was at WrestleCon last night too, because he took a picture with Sting and
yeah,
at the Wolfpack. So it was like, so I think he did have a prior commitment to WrestleCon prior to when WWE kind of surprised him with that. So I'm assuming that they were perfectly okay with it and there's no issues with it. Because if there was an issue, they would have made him cancel.
Yeah,
and show up. I don't think there was an issue. I mean, if this was like in the Vince era, 100% he would have been there, and they would have been. If he wasn't there, Vince would have been pissed. I just don't think there's really any issues there. So that's the only one who wasn't there, but everyone else was.
Yeah.
The funny thing was too, when someone caught this, when Triple H went over to shake their hand, like Steve Austin and Bret Hart's hands after he came out, Bret had the biggest like I don't give a fuck face ever. He like shook Triple H's hand and was like, his body language just read, I still don't like you.
Yeah.
It was like the face that he made was so funny. I'm like, it's so Bret Hart. It's so Bret Hart. It's so Bret Hart.
It's still interesting that Triple H brings him back. I guess because Triple H doesn't have any ill will with him, so it's like he's fine.
No, I just don't think he doesn't have any. I'm pretty sure everything between him and Shawn, like Bret and Shawn's probably good now and with Triple H, but you could tell that Bret just didn't care.
Yeah. Then we had the main.
He only probably did it because of Steve, because him and Steve are like really great friends.
Yeah, but he's been on. He was at Raw. The one in Canada? I think in the fall he was there. So like.
Oh yeah. I would assume like they're on good terms. I would assume so.
Yeah. Then we had the main event. It was the triple threat: CM Punk versus Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins with Paul Heyman and CM Punk's corner. I almost said CM Punk and Paul Heyman's corner by accident.
Hell yeah, CM Punk is in Paul Heyman's corner. Fuck yeah, let's go.
But yeah, in the match somehow too. I don't know how that. But
no, he's going to be in Paul Heyman's corner. He's going to stand behind Paul. He's going to stand behind Paul Heyman's corner. Paul Heyman's going to be in one corner. He's going to stand right behind him.
And wrestle at the same time somehow. But Yeah, we had some good entrances for this match. Seth had a flamethrower, which was cool, and then like he switched from like the dark attire to like the light attire type of thing.
It was awfully rocky of him.
Yeah, and then he went into like his Messiah attire too, that he wore, like the white attire that he was wearing during the pandemic and everything like that. And then Roman Reigns, he didn't have a special entrance this year, which was kind of disappointing. It was just he came out with like a mask or something like that, type of thing. And then CM Punk's entrance, I'll say this too. I think a lot of the Mania entrances this year were very lacking for some reason. But CM Punk's entrance was awesome. They showed like a video package of him redoing all of his old promos that he did, like way back in the day when he debuted in ECW. And everything like that, and then
this Fire Burns played too by Killswitch Engage, which people think is his best theme song, but I strongly disagree.
It's a good theme song for him though, but it's not his best.
Not his best. I still think that Cult of Personality is the song that they that they think of CM Punk when they think of Cult of Personality.
Yeah, and we had speaking of that, we had Living Color. They performed CM Punk's theme song, and this was actually awesome. I'm usually pretty
probably the best in-house live musical performance, honestly, in WWE history.
Yeah, I was thinking
pretty rough.
Yeah, because I was thinking, Motorhead wasn't the best sometimes. We just covered a WrestleMania.
Like Living Color too. The last time they did it for Punk was actually really good also too.
When was the last? Was it an 8? When was the last time?
It was the one. It was the match against Taker.
I think the best thing about it too is not just the performance isn't good. You could tell they genuinely like want to be there, and they're like happy to be there too, and everything like that. It's not just them performing.
The lead singer took up. Corey took a picture with Punk. That was really cool.
Yeah. So this was probably is the best one. I was gonna say Limp Bizkit might be a good one, but but this one might be a little I feel like this one means more too because it's it's Punk's first main event of WrestleMania type of thing with Taker.
Limp Bizkit was really good. But this one's definitely meant more.
Yeah.
Because Taker's is in the middle of the show.
Yeah, and it was just another Mania for him. And don't forget the song where Limp Bizkit performs. The match after with Taker fucking sucked. So, and also Limp Bizkit came out and performed a few times too. Like this was like the only time he saw Living Color and everything like that. So, and this match, Paul Heyman was out with Punk. Roman Reigns was giving Paul Heyman the dead stare. He didn't. A big thing they actually pointed out, and this was actually a good thing, is where the hell the Ula Fala? Because usually Paul Heyman holds the Ula Fala. When Roman Reigns wrestles and everything like that. So where was that
was
getting
the first sign of trouble.
Yep. So Roman Reigns just had to put it there, like, because usually it's disrespectful to the Ula Fala to like let that touch the ground and everything like that. But that just shows you how much Roman Reigns has distrust for Paul Heyman and just like everyone around him.
Rightfully so.
I thought he was gonna put on the ring post, like around the ring post, but I
think it was too big for the Ula Fala to fit around.
Yeah, but I forgot to mention, by the way, too, because this was a big deal. When Jacob Fatu won the U.S. belt, afterwards, Haiku came out and celebrated with them. I forgot to mention that because.
Yep, that's Tama Tonga and Tongaloa. That's their dad. They're not related, but they are considered part of the bloodline. That's Haku. Haku was one of Rikishi's like best friends.
When the hell was the last time Haku showed up in WWE? Because it's been a while.
2001.
Yeah, because I know he was on. I know he was on AEW. When
he was in AEW, he was in New Japan with his kids.
Yeah.
But it's been in WWE. I want to say since he was teaming up with Rikishi in 01
Yeah.
and into 02. I think he last appeared in WWE. I think on TV. I think it was like one of the B shows. I think it might have been Heat or Velocity or something.
Damn.
It was like 2002, I think. Like early, because he was released like not long into 2002.
Yeah. So then, but continue with this match, it starts, everyone kind of gets into a brawl with each other. Roman Reigns gets the upper hand of it in the beginning. He throws Punk and Rollins into the steps. And then eventually, Punk and Rollins brawl into the crowd. This was after Rollins threw Punk into the steps, and Punk hits Rollins with the chair. Rollins hits Punk with a trash can a few times, and they just beat the crap out of each other. Roman Reigns dives into the crowd onto both men. And yeah, the match just continues. There was a bit where Rollins locked Punk on the Intercontinental Vice, and Reigns broke that up. Obviously, Rollins redid the WrestleMania 13 match with him putting Punk in the sharpshooter, which was really cool. And then, there was a spear in the match by Reigns that was kicked out of.
There was a few like close calls in this match where I thought for sure Roman was going to win.
Yeah, like the guillotine to Punk spot. I thought that was going to be it.
I thought that the spear spot when he went like and picked up speed, because that's how he beat Taker. So I was like, oh, that's all he's got. As soon as he went from rope to rope, I was like, oh no, I'm like, he definitely is winning.
Yeah. There was the pedigree. They redid the Money in the Bank match with Rollins and Reigns, where Rollins turned the pedigree. Well, to turn the spear into the pedigree.
That was one of the better spots.
Yeah, and then throughout the much of the match, Rollins was trying to work with Reigns and use that to get rid of Punk. And he tried this a few times at this match, and Reigns refused. And the biggest time we thought that was going to be a Shield reunion, because Reigns was very, he was very conflicted about whether or not he wanted to do this, and it looked like he finally was. We got like the Shield bomb, and then Reigns attacked Rollins and said he just did the power bomb to Punk himself through the English announce table, and then through the Spanish announce table, Reigns put Rollins through that, and then he put Punk on the guillotine from there, and Rollins was able to break it up. Then we had the biggest moment of the match after like everyone went on to a 2K25 showcase finisher fest. Everyone was laid out, and then Paul Heyman grabbed a steel chair, and we didn't really know who he was going to hand the steel chair to, and he handed it to Punk, and it seems like Punk, Paul Heyman has turned on the tribal chief, and he's aligning himself with Punk, and then he low-blowed CM Punk. And he didn't really want to do this. He was very conflicted afterwards. But then he acknowledged Roman Reigns as his tribal chief. Roman Reigns hit, Punk in the back with a chair. And he easily could have beaten Punk at that point. He could have probably just done the spear and pinned him. But then Paul Heyman points out that Rollins is in the same position that Reigns was in last year. Reigns was in over a decade ago when the Shield turned, and he's in the same position that Rollins was in last year. That cost him the championship and everything like that. And Paul Heyman points it out, you can get your revenge here type of thing. And obviously, in hindsight, Heyman knows that Reigns can't help himself when it comes to getting revenge on Seth Rollins and everything like that. So, Reigns is going to do it again. He's going to hit Rollins in the back and get revenge, not just for the Shield breakup, but for the fact that was the moment that cost him his championship last year. But Paul Heyman low blows Roman Reigns. And this time around, there was some volition behind it, because when he did it to Punk, it was quick. With Reigns, he put some extra sauce on that low blow. This time around. And, Seth Rollins, just stands in this position, and realizes that this was planned, that he didn't get hit with the back of the chair, and Heyman hands Rollins the chair. He smashes Reigns off the back with it, and then he lays out Reigns with a curb stomp, and he pins Roman Reigns. He wins the triple threat match, and Seth Rollins, and Paul Heyman have some type of partnership going on now and everything like that. This was a really good finish to a fantastic match. This match is 5 stars. This match was perfect. All the emotion, all the bells and whistles, and just what could come out of this match now is just so interesting now and everything like that. You could get a lot of neat stuff out of this now and everything like that. And someone shared online recently what Roman Reigns said during Paul Heyman's induction speech last year, that when you don't see the wise man with Roman Reigns anymore, that will be the end of Roman Reigns. So I think they're going to play up on that. I think this is going to be another avenue to have Roman Reigns disappear for a while. Not sure if Punk will do the same because Punk, this could be a way for Punk to disappear. If they both disappear, I definitely don't think it's going to... One will come back before the other. It's probably going to be Punk that will come back first. I'm really interested in this, Seth Rollins kind of sold his soul to the devil. And I say that there might be more to it than what I just even said there, because Rollins was willing to do whatever it took to make the company better, and everything like that. And I'm really interested in seeing a partnership now with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. So I give this match 5 stars. This is probably the best match of the entire WrestleMania weekend, and it's just fantastic. I loved it. What'd you think of this?
I thought this match was perfect. Like you said, absolutely beautiful, perfect. The twist ending with Seth aligning with Paul Heyman, I think they might talk that up maybe tonight or on Friday, because it's Monday when we're doing this. So it's either going to be tonight on Raw or Friday on SmackDown. We'll get an answer as to why Seth and Paul were in cahoots, and maybe that was part of the favor that he asked for. And this is full-fledged now. I think Seth is fully healed now with Paul Heyman. And it's going to be really interesting to see what they do, because it's a real interesting partnership. And it just depends on which way this goes now with Roman and with Punk, because they could go away for a while. They won't go away for a while. It just depends on, where the story goes. They could show up on Friday and Seth could take them both out and they'd be gone for a while, or, maybe they form some form of partnership, Punk and Roman. Who knows? Anything. There's a real lot of intrigue that's come from this, and I think that we'll find out sooner rather than later what that favor was.
Yeah. So, this was perfect, and plus, we don't really know, even though Paul Heyman technically turned on Punk, that was again, he didn't really want to do that, but the Reigns one was definitely one he wanted to do. So is that going to play in at all or anything like that? So
yeah, hit him in the balls.
Yeah. So
right in his testes.
I'm really interested in this and everything like that. And again, it's a decade. They kept mentioning it a decade ago. Rollins screwed over. They showed a video package of it actually during the Countdown show where Rollins screwed over Reigns a decade ago. He screwed him over again a decade later and everything like that. So I'm really interested in this. So that was night one. I guess we'll do a letter grade for night one. And then we'll just climb the grades. I think we talked about this off camera, and we've talked about this through our message boards and everything like that. I think night one probably is a B. I think it's really brought down, the one, it didn't feel like Mania. The only thing that really felt like Mania in night one was the opener and probably the main event. Everything else was kind of, you probably could have seen that on a wall or something. I feel like you think about more on night one. It's not as bad as we've talked about, the Fatu thing. I guess that felt like Mania too. The Fatu, his crowning and everything like that. But Jade and Naomi was very good, but I think night one had a lot of missteps, like with the Ray Phoenix not winning, the World Tag Team title match not worth giving a shit about, and then Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton's match being very sloppy and clunky. So, but I feel like the opener and the main event really put that up, and obviously Fatu's crowning and the Jericho Naomi match being good. So, as of right now, what would you grade night one of WrestleMania and everything like that?
I would give it a B. I think the main event was the best part of the whole show. Easily by a mile, the best match on both nights. It was spectacular. It's the only reason why the show even has a B grade, to be honest. And I'll just say this right now, it's kind of the inverse of night two to night one. It's almost flipped. But a lot of these matches didn't need to happen. The TLC match should have happened. That would probably have bumped the grade up into the A territory. But it's really, it felt like a lot of these matches were just raw matches on a big stage. Like the Charlotte Tiffany match didn't feel like a WrestleMania match because Charlotte was sandbagging her. The tag team championship match, the War Raiders versus the New Day, sucked. Not sucked, but like it just didn't have the oomph of WrestleMania. It's a really weird show that like most of the matches on night one should not have even been on the show. And that night one was completely saved by that classic of a main event.
I think we talked about this too. If we switched the main events around, we would think more negative, and had these matches, we would think more negatively of night one and more highly of night two.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do night two. I'll just run down the kickoff real quick. Not as much on the.
Because they did everything on the first one. They brought up the partnership. They brought up the acquisition of AAA again.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping they were going to get like, another big announcement on the countdown show of night two, like we got at night one. We didn't get anything really. Really weird. They didn't show, because on night one they showed like for the community services thing, they showed that deaf guy who like was there at WrestleMania. I thought. Because night two, I thought they would show us. They didn't even show anything like that, really, on night two. Didn't. It was kind of weird. And then the panel was the same. It was just kind of a lot of, interviews and things like that. If I just say, I would probably say night one was the better countdown show because we actually got like an announcement and like something significant to watch and everything like that. Yeah, night two we didn't really get. It was just kind of a lot of interviews. A lot of it was recapping night one because like they showed like the U.S. title match like again, not the whole thing, but like the end of it and everything like that. Like
how they recapped the show, like the show the night before, like we didn't see it.
Yeah, and the people that
Like, why would you be watching WrestleMania night two if you didn't watch WrestleMania night one?
I don't know. And why are they showing this on fucking YouTube? Like not. I guess the idea is on Peacock, but like, the big thing is like. On Peacock, I don't think you would have gotten that because, you would have gotten the ads instead if you like. So like, why are we showing this on YouTube? I don't get this.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so stupid. I felt like night two's countdown show was tougher to get through because there was a lot of nothing. And yeah, it's 3 hours of this shit. So.
And.
So. I mean, night one was pretty difficult too because like I didn't get a break in between watching Stand and Deliver, and the The countdown show. There's no reason for these countdown shows to be 3 fucking hours. It's fucking ridiculous. Especially if there's gonna be a lot of nothing and everything like that type of thing.
Exactly. It's gonna be a lot of nothing.
Well, look, I
If there's
remember.
not gonna be a lot of anything, what's the point?
I remember we're gonna sound like hypocrites because I remember we did private messages and stuff where like the fans complained it was gonna be 3 hours. The difference there is like they complain about it as if it's never been like a thing before type of thing, but like it's worth complaining about because there's a lot of nothing. That's the thing to complain about. You want to have it be 3 hours? Just give us something for that 3 hours and everything like.
2 matches.
Yeah.
Just 2. You don't have to give us 5. Just give us 2.
Especially you know.
Put the Andre in 1 hour and put a fucking match in the second hour.
Yeah. So.
If you want to recap whatever from night 1, fine. Put that in the last hour.
Yeah. So.
There's no fucking reason for WrestleMania to be 3 hour to have a 3 hour kickoff show where they do nothing but talk for 3 hours.
Right.
I get not wanting to overshadow the announcement on night 1. I get that, but like night 2, put a couple of matches. Put the Andre. Put whatever. Put Chelsea Green. Ever have an open challenge or whatever. Like that would have made that would have made the kickoff worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. Take us through night 2. Hope you have those fucking notes ready.
Oh, the fucking fucking notes are fucking worth it for sure. They're right fucking here. So we got to kick off the show. We got the Women's World Championship Triple Threat match that was announced on Saturday. I think that was on the Pat McAfee show. They announced it. I think it was Michael Cole who announced it too. That this match was kicking off the show. This was a wild triple threat match. Not going to go over it too much in detail because I will say this: just go and watch it for yourself because it was an excellent triple threat match.
But
it was right up there with the men's triple threat that closed out night 1. Right there, it's like there's not much of a distance between the two of them. This match was incredible. Damn good way to kick off the show, for sure. They went on a bit of a finisher fest to close out the show with the KOD, but Io Sky ended up breaking it up with the over the moonsault, and she covered Bianca for the 3 count. And Io Sky retained her Women's World Championship in a amazing match. I give it 4.5 stars. Amazing.
Yeah, I gave it 4 3/4. This match was truly amazing. A lot of great near falls. Very unpredictable who was going to win. It was either, I think a lot of people thinking it was either going to be Rhea or Bianca. And then they really shocked us and went with Io, which was awesome. Because, she's been kind of...
That's even better.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even really think that she was going to win. I thought it was going to be Bianca or Rhea. But I'm very happy that she won.
Yeah, and then, if they're going to use this match to, because obviously a big thing that can come out of this match is they can turn one of the 3, turn Bianca or Rhea. I would do Bianca because she's already getting the negative reactions. With Rhea, and it's not just at Mania, when they were doing the UK show, when they're doing the European tour, she was getting negative reactions a little bit. So, they can easily work, and you can make it happen, because we still don't know, there's still some, a bit of uneasiness between Jade and Bianca. We could find out that maybe Bianca called for the attack and everything like that. There's a lot of things you can do there. Or,
there is a lot.
Maybe Bianca, they could do something too where Bianca made the suggestion and then Naomi just went ahead and did it, and she's upset that Bianca did it or something. I know that they could find, because you have to also make that segment on SmackDown make sense whether Bianca got upset about it type of thing. So, but this match was insane. This really made a style out of Io. I think having her win. And And Bianca took the pin, which was surprising, because the whole thing is that she's been undefeated at WrestleMania. And, I know she still wouldn't be if she lost, but if Rhea took the pin, they could be like, well, she's never been pinned at Mania. Now they can't even say that.
Exactly, yeah. She would have technically got a loss, but she would have still been, undefeated from taking a pin at WrestleMania.
But that's not the case anymore, so I feel like that's over. That's over now. So, I'm interested to see what happens from this. I kind of hope, we can... they don't necessarily continue this. They could do this again down the line, but, there's a lot they can do from this, because I feel like Rhea and Bianca... Well, maybe Bianca could stay there, but I think Rhea needs to leave the title picture. I don't even think she needs the belt. She can probably, just do her own thing, because she's that good. But, this 4 3/4 hours is great stuff.
Also, I forgot to mention, too, there's a couple of special entrances, too. Bianca had her stepdaughter with her. Montez Ford's daughter was with her stepdaughter. And those really cool moments. She was the one that dressed up just like her. At first, when they did the entrance, they do look a lot alike. But that's not her actual, real biological daughter, which is kind of crazy because they looked so much alike. That was wild. And then
who did Montez
Rhea
have
had
this
her own little mask on?
Who did Montez have this child with? Because in the
I think it's his previous wife. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because in the reality series, they never when they did the reality.
He has 2 kids from a previous relationship, and I'm pretty sure he was married before, and it's with that other woman.
Okay, because in the reality show, he never mentioned he was married before or had other kids or anything like that. So.
Yeah, it's Montez's 2 kids from his previous relationship.
It's just crazy that the stepdaughter looks a lot like Bianca and everything like that.
It fooled me at first too, because when they zoomed back and they zoomed in, I was like, wait a minute, that's not Bianca. And I was like, wait a minute, it looks just like her. When they said it was her stepdaughter, I was like, holy shit! She does look a lot like her.
Maybe there's something they're not telling us.
It could be, but yeah, it's her stepdaughter. They went and did their little their little show of people at ringside. Flavor Flav was there, and a couple others. And then they basically, the big announcement was Cardi B is going to be hosting the first ever 2-night SummerSlam in August. It had been rumored for quite a while that Cardi B was going to be the host of SummerSlam, and this just makes it official. They had done something a long while ago, but this is the first ad they've had with her as the host in forever.
I feel like her hosting is going to be very cringe, though.
It is. 100% it is.
You'll probably go through it as the show goes on, but one obviously person. Obviously we've seen we saw Vanessa Hudgens on both nights. That's a big, but one big one that I saw.
They have Rick Rubin there, the legendary music producer.
Dean Norris, I know him obviously from. I mean, he's not in that from Breaking Bad, even though that's not what he was. He was on he was advertised at some one of the Law and Order shows. But I know who Dean Norris is, everything like that. So that's cool that he was there.
Yeah, they did their little go around, but that was kind of cool to see them.
Yeah.
And that played into what was honestly one of the sleeper matches of WrestleMania, which was the Sin City Street Fight with Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. And Priest had a special entrance with Kerry King of Slayer, the guitarist for Slayer. He's hosting an event with Slayer, so there was kind of rumors on Saturday that Slayer was going to be involved in some way in Damien's entrance. But yeah, this match was fucking brutal, just brutal. And at one point, mid-match, Drew did the "Still bored at work, LOL" tweet, which was hysterical.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That's so funny. I love that. But just a great match. Lots of reversals and almost threes. And then at one point, earlier in the match, Drew had set up a chair in the corner, and it played into the finish when Damian was going for something, and he was on the ropes, and Drew kind of shoved him off, and he went through both tables that Drew had set up, which is a rarity in wrestling, where nowadays, especially in the Vince era, it happened all the time. If you set up something, you were going through it.
Yeah.
So there, it was kind of. I was like, "Oh, Drew set up these two tables. He must be going through them." Nope, Damian Priest went through them.
I mean, you're seeing this
Damian,
stuff less and less too, where because don't forget, before the main event of Mania night one, Seth Rollins got the last laugh on Raw. So like, you know,
yeah. In this Triple H era for the last like 2+ years, he's kind of done away with the go home to Mania is the loser WrestleMania. Obviously, we'll see later on someone else stood tall for a couple weeks prior. But as Damian was getting back into the ring, Drew nailed him with a brutal, one of the nastiest Claymore kicks you'll ever see, as he Claymored his fucking head right through the fucking chair. The chair went flying, and yeah, that was it for Damian as Drew McIntyre covered him for the 1-2-3. Holy shit! This match again, really damn good. One of the sleepers of the weekend. When it was first announced, I think a lot of people were, the match itself, like with the story direction that it was going in, were kind of disappointed because we all kind of wanted the LA Knight Drew McIntyre thing after they had the little tiffy, the little tussle, war of words, I should say, backstage, and then kind of played into it the following week after the Rumble. But this match exceeded a lot of people's expectations, including myself. I just thought it was going to be a run-of-the-mill hardcore match, but it definitely caught people's attention. It was definitely a WrestleMania quality match and worthy match. It was awesome. I'm going to give it 4 stars.
yeah, I loved it. It was 4.5 for me. It just really brutal. Drew winning was absolutely the right result because he's been taking a lot of big losses.
Needs to happen because he has been kind of on the losing side more recently.
I mean, I know Priest kind of has been a little bit recently lately, but I feel like with all that stuff that Drew did last summer with Punk and everything like that, he's like Drew's kind of like a bigger star and like kind of a more interesting star than Damian Priest is at the moment. So like he needed to kind of get like a big win.
But that was a great showing from both guys in a match that no one really cared about, but it made people care.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
Just wonderful. I this felt like WrestleMania right off the bat.
Yeah, it did.
Because you had a 5-star triple threat match to start out, and then followed up with a really damn good sleeper match to follow it up.
And then
Loved it.
And then it continues to feel like WrestleMania with the next match.
So before that, they kind of did that little fucking show around. They had Jahmyr Gibbs of the Detroit Lions, superstar, former Alabama and Georgia Tech running back, absolute fucking stud. Love that guy. Daniel Cormier, huge wrestling fan. He's done a couple of. He's been around WWE the last like 5 years or so, doing commentary, and he was a part of the. He was the Fight Pit referee.
Yeah, he was all over WWE world doing coverage for like ESPN and things.
So he's a massive wrestling fan, and I'm surprised they haven't like given him like a commentary gig yet. He's really good. And they had Tony Hitchcliffe and they booed him, which is kind of funny.
I think you'll get to him, but because they showed him at night one, obviously George Kittle, because George Kittle's I want
great.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I want him
Huge
to
reaction to the beer. Like, that was.
Yeah,
I feel like you fit right in.
I want him to have like a match at some point when
I think he will. I think he will. His career's not quite winding down quite yet. I still think he still has quite a few years left. But I think he'll definitely get in there at some point.
yeah.
I can't wait to see it happen because he's 31. He's 31 years old right now. He'll be 32 in October, so he's still got quite a few years left. He really hasn't shown any sign of slowing down in the NFL. So, but I would think that within the next 3 to 4 years, he would be absolutely in a wrestling ring.
Do you think he'll do it like full time, or do you think he'll do like Logan Paul and like Pat McAfee, like do it part time with him?
I think the Pat McAfee wrestling schedule when Pat was wrestling. I think a couple of matches here on a big show like WrestleMania, like one of the big four, and then whatever else he wanted to do. Like if they were going to have a show in Santa Clara in California, because the Niners play in Santa Clara, maybe he does something there or whatever. But yeah, I definitely think he can. He would definitely be a great fit.
I'd like him to do a Rumble appearance, even if like he's not gonna get in there anytime soon. Like,
and the thing is too, I'm absolutely okay with him being like a celebrity athlete doing it because he actually appreciates it.
yeah,
He loves it. He's a massive fan. Like he wants to do it. He wants to wrestle. He actually does. So it's not like some fucking random person that they show at ringside who were like, oh, it's so and so from this random show that we have to show, and it's like they never show up again, and they don't even give a shit. It's like he gives a shit. Like he actually loves the WWE. He loves wrestling, and I think he'd be a great fit whenever that does happen. So I really look forward to seeing him jump in the ring. Now we get to that triple threat match. With Penta making his WrestleMania debut.
you mean Fatal 4-Way?
Fatal 4-Way, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Penta versus that guy versus Finn Balor versus the champion Braun Breaker. This match was really good. Really, really good. Again, another WrestleMania quality match.
Yeah.
I loved it. Absolutely, everyone put on a great performance. Even that little shitbag.
Wow, a compliment to Dom for a change.
Yeah, he's winning me over a little bit.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Never thought you'd hear that, but yeah. So Finn's going for the coup de grace, and he hits it. 1-2. Looks like he's about to win, become the Intercontinental Champion. But Dominic comes out of nowhere, hits the frog splash, and pins Finn of all people. Not Braun, not Penta, Finn. For the 1-2-3. Your winner and new Intercontinental Champion. Dirty Dominic fucking Mysterio. This match was great again. It was only a matter of time before he won a main roster championship. Doesn't mean I have to like him, but he did put on a good performance.
Hey, he just said he's winning you over a little bit, so
he did put on a good performance. But the match in general was great. Everyone played their part great. It was only a matter of time before they put a main roster championship on him, and it doesn't make any sense character-wise right now for him to be World Heavyweight Champion. But the Intercontinental title makes sense. It's almost like it's in the family lineage a little bit. Like his uncle, not his dad, his uncle, Eddie Guerrero, had also won that championship. But it was a really career-defining moment for him. And yeah, And then, by the way, too, like he went back out and ran right past Finn. That was really unplanned. It didn't. When he went back into the ring after the match and celebrated again, the crowd went absolutely fucking apeshit for him. Which is surprising considering the fact that he's been getting booed out of the building, but Vegas is weird.
As we'll talk about later.
But he after the match too, he like ran right past Finn because he was almost halfway up the ramp, and he turned around and went back into the ring and celebrated again. The crowd went absolutely crazy for him. I don't know if it's just a one-time thing and they're gonna go back to booing him on Monday, but tonight. But I could see there being the wheels in motion for him to become a babyface again. I could see it. And I think he'd be a great babyface. Again, this motherfucker's winning me over.
You hate it, too.
I never thought I fucking would ever say that, but he was awesome in this match. He really was. Everyone was great. It was truly a WrestleMania start to the show. I give it 4 stars. And Penta was awesome in his first WrestleMania. Braun looked really good. He didn't take the pin either, so there's a claim to him getting a rematch because he wasn't pinned. And the interesting one of them all is the fact that he fucking pinned Finn. Like, that is like his Judgment Day brethren.
Yeah.
They look so happy together, and now he pins Finn. That was, I think they're gonna play up on that a little bit tonight.
Yeah, I don't know who's going where. Because I think Finn needs the face turn more than Dom at the moment. Because Finn's he's been a heel for. He's been a heel for a while, and I feel like he's better off being a babyface. Dom's been
a heel longer though.
No, because Finn joined Judgment Day first.
That's right. He joined afterwards.
Yeah,
not long afterwards either.
But I think Finn's just a better babyface too, anyways, type of thing. This could be an avenue too. Because everyone's starting to get the CFO songs back. Maybe Finn can get his CFO song back if he can finally go babyface, and he can finally get a reaction again. So,
but I think there's an avenue where they keep him heel, and they see that maybe Dom's getting a little bit too big for his britches.
Yeah,
they kick him on a Judgment Day.
I think.
And you can see again because we're going to get to it, but something happens in the tag match. But yeah,
that's true.
I'll circle around back to my point that I was just about to make, but I'll say it afterwards.
Also, a good thing about this, because we talked about this in the Rey Fenix match, Penta losing didn't bother me because they protected him really well in defeat. One, he didn't take the pin, so that was good.
I'm happy he didn't take the pin. I thought it was going to either be Braun or Finn taking the pin, or Dom if Dom was going to not win.
And also, he had the match won like twice before, but Carlito kept screwing him over. So like he was really protected really well in defeat and everything like that. So yes. I feel like too they're gonna give him a big moment in Mexico, like maybe he'll win the belt there or something like that. So
he could, yeah, I could see that happening.
But then again, I don't know if he's even gonna be like, are they gonna want him for Money in the Bank? Because that's the same day now. And are they gonna want him in the ladder match?
Also true, yeah.
I don't see a avenue where he doesn't show up at Worlds Collide though. But like again, then
I think they're gonna. I think Dom and Penta are gonna be probably the 2 people focused the most when they go to Mexico.
And don't forget the new luchador El Grande Americano. Don't forget about him.
Yeah, the American Chad Gable. Yes.
I know you're talking. Yeah, no, he's not gonna be on that show.
I know. Yeah, he will. He's gonna be wearing a red, white, and blue singlet with a mask. With the we cheated to win on Saturday. Remember that guy? Yeah.
That's on Grande Americano.
Yeah, Chad Gable. So now we have the Randy Orton Open Challenge.
Oh, this is fun.
This was a interesting thing because his trunks, I didn't realize it at the time, were kind of a throwback to his rookie year. He was wearing kind of the same style. That was really a really awesome callback. And there was this could have gone in a lot of different directions. I was thinking that they were gonna go in the direction of maybe someone on the roster, and I thought that would have been really stupid, and it would not have been worth a shot, like an open challenge, if it was going to be someone that was on the roster. I feel like if they were gonna do it, it would have been announced as someone else. If they were going to do Solo, I think it would have been announced as Solo, stepping in for Kevin Owens or something. But we didn't get that. We got say his name, and he appears. Joe Hendry making his WrestleMania debut.
Even though no one said his name.
Well, I guess not. Maybe someone in the arena did.
Maybe Steve did.
Maybe Triple H did. Maybe they said, "Hey, Joe Hendry." And then, so the TNA Heavyweight Champion arrived for the open challenge and got a huge reaction, massive reaction. And so the match wasn't that long, and it had all the hits in it. Had all the Randy Orton hits in it. Hendry had him down at one point, and Hendry goes and does the twist to look back at the camera, and Randy just nails him with an RKO. It was one of the funniest fucking spots. Randy Orton with the RKO out of nowhere. Hits it, pins him. 1, 2, 3. And I think it was like just a shade over 3 minutes. Don't care. It was awesome. Joe Hendry got a huge moment. Then this wouldn't have been possible a couple of years ago to know that, the TNA Heavyweight Champion was making his fucking WrestleMania debut from a different company. Just wild fucking times. Just great. And at the end, Randy kind of gives Joe Hendry his props, then he just fucking nails him with another RKO. And then gives him a little love tap on the stomach. Like, good job, kid. And then, just fades to black. I thought that this match was fine. It wasn't much of a match as it was a just like a thrown together last second thing. I'm happy they got someone outside of the company. I thought it was going to be like returning Rusev or whoever else. I thought it was going to be a big debut, and it was a big debut, return, whatever. Joe Hendry returned to the WWE main roster for the first time since the Royal Rumble in February. Early February. And it was fine. People, of course. Mainly the cultists from AEW were upset with it, because of course they were. But I was okay with it. I was fine with it. It's very much what it was supposed to be.
Yeah,
I would say.
I was fine with this whole match right here. The fact that we got someone outside the company was good. And like you said, if I think Randy Orton was gonna win, so like it couldn't be someone returning like Rusev, Aleister Black, since that would kind of hurt their return. More so Aleister Black, probably less so Rusev, but it would still hurt it a little bit. And then getting Joe Hendry was good. It kind of keeps this WWE and TNA partnership going, because it's been going on a while. We haven't really gotten anything from TNA to WWE recently either. We've mainly gotten it the other direction, because it's stopped full stop for the past few weeks since NXT was in Madison Square Garden. And yeah, I think this works. The fact that it's Joe Hendry. It was really wild. I mentioned this, that the TNA World Championship was being showcased in WWE. That's something I never would have thought over a decade ago, even a couple years ago, and everything like that. And then I thought this was fine. This was a good, some good hits and everything like that. I thought it was 3 minutes, but I feel like Joe Henry got to get a lot of his stuff in that 3 minutes. Randy Orton, I still thought put him over huge at the end.
Massively.
I feel like there was really no reason for this to go long. I feel like Joe Henry got to get a nice WrestleMania moment.
It didn't need to go long.
Yeah.
Thing it didn't need to.
I don't. Joe Henry's going to be over regardless. Anyways, and again, it's not like he's signing with WWE again anytime soon. So like, he's still going to be with TNA for a little while. It's still something he could put on like his resume. And yeah, this really didn't bother me and everything like that. I thought this was just a fun showcase. I give it 3 stars.
Yeah, it is what it is. It was a showcase open challenge. I give it like 3 stars. It sold the point. It was someone that was off the roster, which we all wanted, regardless of who it was. As long as it was someone that wasn't on the roster. So now it's the Logan Paul versus AJ Styles match. And so Logan came out first, and he was using a drone and was flying it all around, and they did like fucking 55 different camera angles, which was really weird. Really odd.
Yeah.
Don't get why they did that, but cool. Yeah, this match was good with AJ and Logan Paul. Very, very good match. They again worked really, really well together. Just as AJ Styles really works well with everyone. Really can pull a good match out of anyone. And near the end, one of Logan Paul's friends comes up with the brass knucks. Tries to give them to Logan, but instead, Karrion Kross comes out of nowhere to kind of even the playing field a little bit. He takes the brass knuckles and tries to tell AJ to use them. AJ whips them, and he fucking at the steps. I'm surprised he didn't ricochet off and fucking kill someone. And he knocks down Cross, goes for the phenomenal forearm, misses. Logan Paul crushes him with the loaded fist, and then hits the pulverizer for the win. And I give this three stars. Not, it was a good match. Nothing more than that. And Logan probably needed this win more than AJ. Not saying AJ didn't deserve to win the match, but I think AJ is moving on to a feud now with Karrion Kross, which is going to be very interesting. But Logan's going to do whatever. But Logan needed the win more. He had been on kind of a losing schneid recently, so that pulverizer is just nasty, and AJ's been taking it really well. My only gripe is they did the same thing 3 weeks in a row. That's my only gripe that I have with this, is that he hit the pulverizer 3 weeks in a row. Like, no variation, the same thing 3 weeks in a row. That's my only frustration with it, but other than that, the match itself was very good.
Yeah, I give it 3 3/4. I thought it was very good. I thought they both looked really strong. Logan Paul definitely needed to win this. I know, like we said in the predictions, I think AJ Styles can bounce back from this quicker because he's full-time and he can just have a lot of wins on the roster. And again, he has an out for losing too because of the brass knuckles then, so it's not like he just straight up lost and everything like that.
The brass knuckles were sort of a distraction for him because he's trying to win the right way.
And then, AJ, and Karrion Kross can keep doing their thing. And they can be twins together and just,
Yeah, the hair twins.
Yes. They're twins, so it has to happen.
They're very much so. But now we get to the next segment. They did their little showcasing people again. But yeah, it's Vanessa Hudgens they showed again, like we said earlier. Terrence Crawford was there. Cuevo was there. Cuevo did his best Fred Durst impression, and what I mean by that is he flipped the camera off. that had me dying immediately. I was like, "Oh, that's Fred Durst." That was really funny. After Michael Cole said that was his favorite musician, he immediately flips off the camera.
Yeah. I might have missed this. I went to probably.
That was really funny. So, due to Bayley getting taken out of the match, not because she was injured, because she just didn't fit in the match, begs the question of why the fuck she was even in the match to begin with. They have a surprise announced, and Lyra needed a tag partner. So, who'd she call upon as the surprise? Her fellow countrywoman, the man Becky Lynch, has made her return to WWE for the first time in fucking I don't even know how long. It's her last feud was against Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
I think we're about a year. I think we're about 7 months, maybe.
Yeah, because they had said it was 12.
Roughly.
It wasn't 12 because she was at Mania last year, and
Yeah,
I remember because
she did the party show.
yeah, I think
I was thinking it might have been SummerSlam.
no, because Bria had come back Bria had come back by then, so I think it was like May, June-ish because it was before because Liv had won the belt, and I remember I went to the go home show of Money in the Bank when she was the champion, and that was like I think that was like in June, end of May-ish, and Becky had already been gone by then. Was that end of June?
Yeah, so it wasn't quite 12 months.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like I think it was approaching it, but it definitely wasn't SummerSlam because Rhea wasn't back yet when Liv had won the title and everything like that.
Yeah,
and Dom had joined. John was because it was a good couple months or so before Dom like actually joined up like with her on screen and everything like. Because don't forget, I think because you're thinking because Dom cost her the match, but don't forget that was an accident when that happened.
yeah, but that was after.
Yeah.
So it might have been like June-ish, like in the June range, like in that.
Because don't forget,
But
Becky, because Becky was supposed to go away after Mania last year, but then they had to. I think because Rhea had her injury, so they needed Becky to like fill that void, and everything like that. So
Yeah, they did. And then, which was, I had seen that she was going to be there as the surprise, not as the surprise, but she was going to be on one of the WrestleManias. I didn't know what she was going to do, but what she did ended in victory because Lyra and Becky Lynch ended up winning when Becky hit the manhandle slam for the victory. Your winner and new women's tag team champions, Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch. I give this match like 2.5 stars. Like, it was fine. Actually, I give it 3 just because poor Morgan lost.
sure.
So, yeah, I give it 3 stars. It was definitely one of the more weaker matches so far on this WrestleMania Sunday card so far. But yeah, 3 stars.
More about the return than anything else. Yeah, I enjoyed this. I give it 3 stars. I feel like Becky coming back was finally needed. Not really needed, but more like everyone wanted it to happen, and it was. I'm glad it finally did happen. It paid off. It blows off the feud. that Liv and Becky had going on and everything like that. I kind of hope this is it. Like they don't have like Liv and Raquel have like a rematch or something, just because I feel like
I'm done with it.
yeah. But yeah, Lyra's now Lyra with 2 belts because she's also the women's Intercontinental Champion at the same time. I'm not really sure what's going to happen with that because I imagine they're not going to keep Lyra with 2 titles very long. Weirdly enough, I would prefer she loses the women's IC one over the women's tag, just because if she loses the women's tag, they'll probably losing them to Liv and Raquel, because I don't know who else they lose them to.
Yeah, I would think so.
But then again, if she loses the women's IC title, she's probably losing that to Liv too. So it's like either way, we're probably getting Liv as champion again somehow, type of thing.
Oh, great! Because Triple H is obsessed with her.
Yeah. But yeah, Becky being back, I'm happy about. This adds a lot of intrigue now, too, to the NXT match, like we said, because now Tatum's got to face Lyra, and obviously they have a history. So, Tatum, what do you think Tatum's going to do? This is not good. Like, this is not good for Tatum.
Right.
So, Tatum Paxi, by the way, not the sports Tatum. But Tatum Pax.
Not Jason Tatum.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew there was a Tatum somewhere. I'm just like,
You were right, too.
Well, yeah, I just didn't know. I just didn't know his name actually wasn't like I didn't know his first name wasn't Tatum. So, but Tatum Paxley, feel bad for her. And there was a point you had said during the men's Intercontinental Championship match that you wanted to circle back to here, since something happened here that you wanted to point back to, or do you not even remember what it is now?
So. My point is that because Liv they lost their tag titles, this could be some big dissension within the Judgment Day that could lead to potentially Dominic getting booted out.
I wouldn't mind that. I feel like they have to get like 2 other superstars in there, because I don't think it can just be Finn by himself now at this point.
Replace him with someone else.
This is why I wish AOP was still signed, because they'd be perfect for this role.
Because they're the dark brooding team.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of Dog State.
Hell yeah!
Dog State, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Dog State.
All of them have to be the mercenaries for the group, like the Shield was for CM Punk.
I'm still
just
waiting.
Rip off the Shield entirely.
I'm still waiting, by the way. I can't wait to watch LFG next week, because I think I told you this, but I want to mention this again. They're doing a match between Cutler James and Sexy BJ Way, and whoever loses is off of LFG. I want Cutler James to lose so fucking bad. Like, I really want him to lose.
That'd be the best.
I don't know if you see the ad, too. I feel like it's definitely him losing, because it looks like Bully Ray is telling him, you're off of LFG, but I feel like that's definitely like a misdirect. It's totally going to be fucking, that's definitely one of those like reality show things where it looks like it's one person leaving.
Oh, for sure.
So it's definitely fucking Cutler James losing. That's fucking awesome. Because that's Sean. That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. Get rid of him.
I wonder if they'll play that into his promos too. The fact that like he's gonna mention that like months after he's just been kicked. Remember that would be a big thing in Total Divas. They would like use Total Divas to build like stories on the main roster, but like those stuff happened like months ago, and now all of a sudden they're mad about it, type of thing. It's like so weird.
Yeah, it happened months ago, and people forgot about them.
It was awesome. But yeah, I want Dog State to be do the fat. Do you still call it Judgment Day? Do you call it Dog Judgment or Judgment State?
Judgment State.
I love it. Judgment State. There you go. Actually, might as well. They're a low-weight version of this. Let's get some Retribution members back in there, too. Let's get Slapjack. Let's get T-Bar. Let's get...
Fuck yeah.
Well, let's get... let's get Mia Yimstow there. What was her name in Judgment... not Judgment Day, in Retribution?
I don't remember.
Wasn't it like... wasn't it Reckon... Was she reckoned in, or was she... Because I remember Mercedes Martinez was in the group, but like she quit, and she was like, oh, she was Retaliation, and then Mia Yim was Reckoning. That's right.
Yeah, she was Reckoning.
The biggest one we need back is Slapjack. We need that guy back. I remember that plate on his face was that was awesome. That plate.
Yeah, they just need it.
Yeah. I think that. So yeah, I think that's what should happen. Is Finn Balor to boot out Dom and bring up Dark State and Retribution all together. That they become Retribution Judgment State.
Judgment State.
That's awesome.
Judgment State. The state of the judgment. So now we have the announcement of the attendance from WWE two-time Hall of Famer now, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And he comes out on his four-wheeler. Someone showed behind-the-scenes footage that he completely missed the ramp to go up it, which was hysterical. And as he was going around on his four-wheeler, he crashed into the barricade.
Yeah, this is
He hit the barricade. And by the way, too, the lady that took the bump, A+.
yeah.
A+. That was the biggest sell job of the night. It was like Steve hit the barricade, and then she waited a second, and then slowly fell backwards. I was like, wow. Like, you're trying to get some money out of this.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone too was like, wow, like, what a great acting job. Like, first of all, you weren't even like touched. And
No,
like,
you would.
threw yourself backwards. And he announced the attendance of being 63,226, and then the total attendance of 124,693, which is just remarkable. And then he leaves the ring, goes and checks on the lady, and then just leaves his four-wheeler behind, and then walks up the ramp. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. Only thing disappointed is we didn't get a stunner at Mania. I wasn't disappointed, obviously, here, because, like, I'm like, maybe it's going to tie into the main event. Maybe that's why he's not hitting the stunner, but it's not the case.
Nope. Nothing tied into it. So now we get to that disappointing main event. And
Very much so.
Cody Rhodes versus John Cena for the undisputed WWE Championship. John comes out first. He's got the Batista, like, entrance where it's just the spotlight's on him. He's doing the entrance now where it's like he throws the towel over the back of his head and it kind of lines up with what his shirt says. But yeah, this is his final WrestleMania.
Maybe.
Cody, maybe. So Cody comes out second. He has a random dirt bike entrance for, I don't know what the fuck it was for. Made no sense. And then...
Especially because he's not like a dirt bike or anything like that either. So it's like, what the hell is that?
It was weird. It was like, what the fuck was the point of that?
I will say that, like, other than Punk's, I think the Mania entrances were pretty lacking this year.
Very much so, the special entrances. So they do the Cody Vader for Cody, but they missed it. Don't know how the fuck you like they showed him like already halfway on the stage by the time they got to him.
Those damn dirt bikes, I think.
It was really weird, and then he has this really awesome like mask on that like it lifted up and it showed his face. That was fucking cool as shit.
Yeah, that should have just been his entrance, honestly.
Honestly, do the Cody Vader, then zoom in on that would have been much better.
Yeah.
Also, too, the rarity of that entrance, might I say, like that's like the third time we've seen it in WWE.
Oh yeah, compared to when he was doing it all the time in AEW.
He had the Cody Vader in AEW. He's using it every week, and now it's like he had it for I think it's like 4 times now. He had it for his debut, and then he had it for his return at WrestleMania, he had it for his return to Raw the next night. Yeah. And then he didn't use it again until
he won the belt.
I think he did he did the Cody Vader last year. So that's like the 4th time he's done it. Which makes the entrance way more special.
Well, it wasn't this time because we didn't see it this time.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like too, you complained about this a lot in AEW, and a lot of people, I mean, we're pretty big AEW haters nowadays, but this was not even like when this was when you loved AEW, that you would always complain about this even back then too. So.
Yeah, it was supposed to. I thought it was gonna be like this special entrance, and it wasn't. He fucking did it all the time. It almost ruined it.
Remember when they ruined his theme song by having Snoop perform it?
They changed it to the Snoop Dogg version, and it just was weird. And then they changed it back because people hated it. So they changed it back, but they didn't change it back to the original one. They remixed it again. I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
AEW was really trying. AEW, I think, really had it out for Cody for some reason or something.
Yeah, they did, 100%. And then he got to ringside, embraced Brandy and Liberty, and his mom and his sister, Michelle and Teal at ringside, which is awesome. Now we get to the match, and it was just slow, and I get John's gimmick is he's trying to kill wrestling essentially, but it just didn't feel like it just felt like he didn't know how to work being a heel. It's just what it felt like.
Yeah,
it didn't really look that great. It's just it was definitely. And I'm going to say this, seeing his match against Austin Theory, the Theory match is a little bit better than this. A tiny bit, not by much. In my personal opinion, I think this will go down as one of the worst WrestleMania main events and matches of all time. Just horrible. And if that's his last WrestleMania to go out like that, is just it's brutal.
Especially this is gonna if this is the quality of matches we're gonna get. What is it? Because
it's gonna get old real fast.
Yeah.
It was very much a mixed crowd. As you could tell earlier by the Dominic Mysterio winning the title, the crowd went apeshit for him. They were booing Cody for some reason. I did not understand why. He never really did anything to deserve getting booed, which was really just it was weird. It's a weird crowd.
Yeah, because I can understand that, in AEW even, because that's what he didn't do anything in AEW to deserve it. But you could be well, he's the EVP. His character just screams like he needs a heel run pretty soon, but he just won't make the turn type of thing. And it's they don't want to make the turn.
Kept, alluding to it.
And then he was in a lot of really bad shit, the Nightmare feud, the Anthony Ogogo feud. But here, he hasn't really done anything the only thing that you could really say that he's done heelish, I guess, is the stuff with Kevin at the Rumble, and then maybe the almost going with the Rock, but that's it.
Yeah, he hasn't done really anything to deserve getting booed yet.
Yeah.
We're not at the stage of where we're not really at the stage of where John was in 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, where it was ooh, yeah, they have a reason to boo John because that's the direct pipeline to Vince.
Yeah.
But Vince suddenly went deaf with that, so.
And then Cody has...
He lost his theory when it came to Roman Reigns and John Cena.
Yeah.
He didn't lose the theory with anyone else, though. Imagine they came back for everyone else.
Well, actually, Roman had to get his hearing back when it came to him, actually.
That is true.
Almost had to... It's almost like Roman had to Superman punch his eardrums and be turn me the fuck heel now. Actually, you know what he heard? He heard Roman say, "Yeah, I'm retiring," and Vince is no. You want to? Vince is you want to come back and be a heel? He's oh, okay.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted.
He's like that. Vince heard like if Vince heard the word retirement, he's like, okay, wait, what do I make it? What do I have to do? What do I have to do so you don't retire? Like,
Fuck you, I'm retiring.
but though, yeah, but that I feel like too. It's what you feared would happen. With Cena's heel one, because this is the first time we were ignoring the biggest thing. That this is the first time Cena's been stateside since the night he turned heel. Actually, it's the first time he's been stateside at all. Actually, because I forgot he didn't turn heel in the USA. He turned heel in Toronto. Actually, so
yeah, so he's never really been in front of a US crowd until literally. I mean, yeah, this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is his first match as a heel since 2003.
Yeah,
and it just felt so flat. And Cody hit two shitty Cody cutters that they for some reason replayed.
Yeah,
and then hit a disaster kick that didn't even come close to hitting John at all. It just felt like they had no chemistry. It just felt like two people just were going through spots in the ring. And fucking people, again, you could kind of see it at times. John was calling spots very loudly.
yeah.
Like, extremely, like almost screaming at him. John hits the Super AA off the second rope, and Cody kicks out. He tries to go for the leg drop to the back of the head from the top rope that he hasn't done in ages, where the move that broke his neck. But he didn't. He got countered, hit with a power bomb. And then we had Travis Scott making his entrance for about fucking 3 years to get down the ramp. And he gets helped up on the apron by John, and he is basically used as a distraction to where John has the belt, but then Cody counters it, and he tries to point up don't be the bad guy. Don't hit me. And he kicks him in the dick. At some point, I know I'm probably forgetting this part, but Travis Scott ends up getting crossroads. I think it was when John was out of the ring, because he the failed attack, and then Travis Scott got in the ring, he got crossroads, and then the whole belt thing happened. Kicked him in the dick. 2 ref bumps, by the way, which seemed completely unnecessary. Kicked Cody in the dick, hit him with a championship, and then pinned him for the 1, 2, 3. Normally, I would have been very excited, but this was a fucking terrible WrestleMania match. Easily one of the worst in history.
Probably.
And arguably the worst WrestleMania match of all time. And John is now a 17-time world champion, which breaks the fake tie with Ric Flair, who had 21 championship reigns. I thought that's what Michael Cole was going to mention when he said that he broke it, but he said that I thought he said it's like he brought up like Ric Flair, and I could have sworn he was going to say, but Ric Flair actually has 21. But no, the WWE just acknowledges it being 16 times. So now John Cena has the most world title reigns in wrestling history, I think. This is really weird. No Rock, no save for Cody, no nothing besides Travis Scott. Talk about a disappointment.
Very much so.
They had so much time to build up this match, and we got that hunk of shit. It's like I said when we were recapping night 1. It was the exact opposite. Whereas the main event for WrestleMania Night 1 saved the fucking show from being a complete disaster. Besides, obviously, the feel-good moment of Jay winning, like, it was a very mediocre card. And then on the opposite end, WrestleMania Night 2, the card was tremendous. Everyone delivered. And you get to the main event, and the main event's awful. And it's like, me watching this, being the biggest John Cena fan ever, and he's my hero growing up. I love him to death. That really, for me, was the first time not looking through a childlike lens at John Cena. And seeing the fact that, man, he looks old, he looks slow, and he looks disinterested. It's really is kind of the first time that I noticed that. And just watching this match kind of like really kind of was seeing what other people have seen in previous years. His stomps don't look good. It just looks like it's sort of like, here's the finish line. And to me, that's really disappointing. Because I would rather my hero go out differently, obviously. Heel turn, obviously, still. That was one of the best moments that WWE has put together in fucking 20 plus years. Really shocking, and it was really an awesome moment. And to go from Elimination Chamber to here, that's what you put together. A Travis Scott interference, a 10-minute entrance for Travis Scott, and then a ho-hum match. Like, I turned my TV off last night after the match ended, and I was like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Like, not like, ooh, what the fuck just happened? Like, like, ooh, that's interesting, but like, like when Cody lost after WrestleMania, we were both pissed, but it was like, I'll give it time. I'll see where this is going. But this is like totally different. This was I turned my TV off. I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? I'm like, I saw like a match that could have been cut down to 10 minutes. Besides all the knockdowns and the fucking rollouts, and it was the most boring, uninspiring match I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of shitty matches, and that one, by far, is one of the shittiest matches I've ever seen. And it's incredibly disappointing that they had this much time to build it up, and they couldn't even fucking get The Rock to fucking get his ass over from fucking Hawaii to show up. Like, what the fuck was the point? They do the 3 at Bad Blood for it to be the 2 at Elimination Chamber after he disappeared for forever, after he said his filming schedule was done, but that wasn't the case. He shows back up at Elimination Chamber, and they do the 2. The fuck is he? Is he gonna? If he doesn't appear tonight on Raw, this fucking story's dead. I'm not waiting fucking 3 months for The Rock to decide he wants to show up again to do the 1, and for it to be Seth. I'm not waiting. Give it to me tonight, this week, or else no one's gonna fucking care. You turn Seth heel on fucking Saturday. Do something with it.
Yeah.
It's just so frustrating.
This match, I was pretty tired after night 2, because it had been a long weekend of watching both nights. So I didn't love it originally, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to watch it fully wide awake and see, like, if it actually, is bad. And then, it's not... I watched it this morning, and it's not a great match. The thing I like about it was obviously how Cody lost, showing that he could have gone to the dark side, but chose not to, type of thing. But yeah, like you said, John Cena's in-win work seems to have slipped. and if this is going to be the quality of matches that we're going to get, it's going to be a long year because he's going to be working a lot of people and everything like that. I think I talked about this off camera too. I'm wondering if this is also John Cena's trying to be safe too because he's still filming stuff for Hollywood and things like that. And he doesn't want to get injured, which is like, it's your last year type of thing. You have a ton of time to do shit in Hollywood after this. This is your last wrestling year. Like, put all your stock into it type of thing. Like, you said you were going to put all your stock into it. And you're really not. Now, look, if this match was bad by design, because the whole thing, John Cena wants to ruin wrestling, I would be a little bit generous to it and everything like that, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Because it's also tough. We don't know how much, because John Cena really wasn't doing much. He was still filming stuff. I don't know how much he's, been in the ring, because we haven't really seen John Cena have a one-on-one match since Crown Jewel when he faced Solo and everything like that. But, kind of a shame, and then, the fact that we haven't gotten anything on The Rock, they haven't, other than Cody taking jabs at him, they haven't said why it's seen to join up with The Rock. They haven't said, anything about The Rock's motivations or anything like that. And then, again, like you said, I feel like, when The Rock does show back up again, I think a lot of people are going to be wondering, like, well, is this legit type? Because, he showed up and then just fucked off the past few months and stuff type of thing. The Rock needed to be here. And the fact that they couldn't get him to come here, really hurt this match. It wasted a Stone Cold appearance, too, because we should have gotten a stunner in that segment. But then we're like, well, maybe we're getting it later, but then we didn't get it. It just makes, it doesn't really make me look forward to watching Cena in the ring for the next, hopefully, maybe too, as he starts to come in and wrestle more and more and more, maybe it'll be better, because he's wrestling Randy next month. They have pretty good chemistry, and that'll be different. But again, I feel like it's one of those things, because the thing is, we talk about Cena's not used to working heel. He hasn't worked heel necessarily, but the match he had with Bryan, and the matches he's had with, like, Punk, the matches he's had with LVD, when he was, like, the de facto heel, because, like, no one wanted him to win, those were better than this. Like, this is just, wasn't very exciting and everything like that. And, it's just, I don't really know, if this is going to be what it's like. Cody definitely needed to lose, though. I feel like a lot of people, a lot of people would have definitely turned on him if he won, because there was really no reason for him to win. I don't know what you did. I think his title reign wasn't getting stale, but it was time for him to come to an end. Like, if it didn't end here, I think it would have gotten stale, probably, because it's like, then who does he wrestle?
It's not done with him losing at all.
Yeah.
I thought I predicted him to lose.
Yeah.
So I was not upset about him losing. It was just the fucking way the way that it was. It's going to be a long year of John Cena if this is the quality of performances he's going to be putting on and everything like that. And I'm also like, I'm doing the booking around this and stuff, and it's like, I'm booking Cena to face Orton, Punk, and like all these other people. But it's kind of pissing me off though, and like, it's good that he's facing these people, but like, I thought the whole point of this retirement one was to see matches that we weren't going to see anymore of. Like, so like, we're not going to get like all the new stars that are there and everything. He's just going to be facing all the same opponents he's already faced. So it's like, okay, well, all the dream matches. I mean, it's really weird. I know in AEW we complain about that, but the big excitement of people going from different promotions from AEW to WWE to WWE to AEW is to see the matches that they don't get to have type of thing. I mean, that's why in the beginning we complained when Edge went to AEW because he was just facing Christian again. It's like, well, we could just see this. We've already seen this type of thing, and then he's starting to face guys now he hasn't faced, but that's a different issue. But like,
Like when John Moxley came there, one of the first matches he had was against Kenny Omega, a match we hadn't seen him have before, type of thing. When Dustin came, he finally got that Cody Dustin match the way we wanted it and everything like that. When Jericho very rarely in the beginning of his AEW run didn't face anyone like from the WWE. He only really faced people, from mainly AEW side of things. And the people that he did face that were in WWE, he didn't really. He faced them. They weren't big stars back then, type of thing. With Cena. All the matches that if he just faces everyone that he's faced several times, then what's the point of this retirement one? I want to see him face like Drew McIntyre would be nice, type of thing. Carmelo Hayes type of thing. They faced off, but Jey Uso. I mean, that's a money match right there. So yeah.
Exactly.
I think this one's gonna be long. I feel like the heel one, is still good at the moment. I'm enjoying Cena as a heel. The fact that this was, again, at the moment, this is being coined as his last Mania. If this is his last Mania, this is not a good way to go out.
Yeah, well, it was not.
What happens to Cody from here, I'm not sure. I remember I made a lot of predictions. I could see him going away for a while to take a break, but then that's 3 big stars that are going to be gone from WWE after Mania. It's ooh, that's a bit rough, because then I made predictions that Roman and Punk are going to be gone for a while, and then Cody. It's I think Cody has. If they could do something where Cody still is around, but he just doesn't. He's just kind of a shell of himself or something or whatever. That loss did something to him. He doesn't have to necessarily disappear. I think. Out of all the ones, I think Cody has to be the one that... Well, the best one to probably stick around is Punk, because Punk's still kind of fresh enough where, I don't think people would get sick of him. But I think... and then Roman just can't be around. But, again, I keep making predictions that, Cody, Punk, and Reigns are going to be gone after Mania. They can't all be gone all at once, because that's 3 of the big stars right there, So... Unless
exactly.
And Cena's not. I feel like Cena will be there this week, and then he's supposed to be at Backlash. But is he gonna? I don't think I think he'll be gone for a couple weeks. So, we have to wait and see what happens. But
yeah, exactly. Gotta wait and see.
Just like with our Grande Americano stuff, we have to just let the story play out.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
We already know.
Well, you have theories. But yeah, let's let you do just grade night 2 on its own.
B plus.
Yeah, I think night 2. I agree. I think night 2 would have been probably an A. Actually, probably an A plus. Actually, if the main event delivered, because everything on that show was very good. But the night. I'm going to give B plus also. I'm not good with math, but I'm pretty sure that makes Mania as a whole, as a letter grade, probably just a B. Because I'll be grading night 1 a B and night 2 a B plus. Maybe a B plus. It's definitely in that range. I'm going to say final decision. Both Mania, if grading Mania together, I'll go B. Not quite a B plus. I feel like night 2 was a B plus, but I think night 1 had a lot of misses, and then night 2, even though it didn't have as many misses, the fact that the main event was a huge miss really brings it down too.
Yeah, I give it a solid B, and I agree with you too. There was a lot of misses on night 1 that I just can't justify putting in the A's.
And even though there was only one big miss, the fact that the miss was the main event, that's a pretty big damn fucking miss. And it's one of the biggest angles of the whole company right now. That's a pretty damn fucking big miss. So
yes, exactly.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. We covered Mania weekend. Anything else you want to say before we end this off?
No, I don't.
Anything you want to plug or promote?
Don't got nothing.
Yeah, check out Owen the Talkinator. My cousin and I are gonna now that we finished Red versus Blue and Yellow Jackets, we're not going to start Yellow Jackets Season 3 yet because we need a little bit of a break from that because that's, our whole videos lately has just been those two shows. We want to go on and do something else. So this week, we're covering Rick and Morty, Season 1, Episode 6, which is a pretty significant episode in Rick and Morty, and it fits because Rick and Morty comes back soon, so the fact that we're doing that fits. Then we're covering Dragon Ball Season 1, Episodes 5 and 6, because they're it's a two-parter, so we're going to cover that. And then next week, at some point to celebrate May the 4th be with you, it'll be uploaded that day. I don't know when we'll record it. But we're gonna review the first Star Wars. When I say the first Star Wars movie, I mean like the first actual like Star Wars movie, not like Episode 1, because obviously but we're gonna do the actual first Star Wars movie, A New Hope, that one, which is interesting because I haven't seen that in years, and I haven't really seen many Star Wars things, so it'll be interesting to see what I think of it. So and then. As we continue to go through, we have some other videos planned. We're probably going to start Yellow Jackets Season 3, like late May, early June, because we feel like that would be enough of a time of a break from it. Then you check out this channel, Mike, Cruz on, and I think Nico's, I'm not sure because I couldn't be on that retro, did a retro reviewing an All Japan show. I don't remember the name of the show because I couldn't watch it. And then obviously check out some of the past retros we did. We did WrestleMania 17. Check out our Mania predictions. We'll probably do Aftershock again, covering the post-Mania stuff. We'll probably record it the same day next week. If not the same day, then the following Wednesday. And then we'll start a new series. We're going to start a series called Greatest and Worst Moments. They'll both be two different videos where we're going to take a topic and cover the greatest versions of it and the worst versions of it. The first one is going to be to kind of wrap up Mania coverage, is going to be the greatest and worst Wrestlemania matches. Chris and I are going to make a list. We made some rules that you've had to have seen these matches in full before. Also, we both can't have the same match on each other's list. We didn't really make this a rule, but like it's more like we don't want to have the same match. So I'm not really sure how we're gonna work around that. What I'll probably do is make a Google Docs, have us both be in on it, and then we'll each add to it as time goes on and everything like that. So and that'll be fun. So. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. And since this is being recorded in the past, we will talk to you guys in the future.